Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here. This is Clash of Comrades for Faction Frenzy number 2. I'm Best Teammaker, and with me, Captain Fog and MJ. How are you guys doing today?
Hello. So excited for these matchups here. I know we've had a 2v2 in the past, but we have even more teams now, and our teams have been practicing. I'm so excited to see what these teams can bring to the table today.
Oh yes, it's been a while since we had a 2v2 tournament, and 2v2 just needs more love.
You know, especially with like the updates recently, they've been able to stabilize. I think in the past, 2v2 was kind of like a pain to play, but with all these like amazing updates, they've been able to make it so stable. It's now actually, it's more watchable than before.
Indeed, performance improvements were huge for 2v2, as lag was the biggest complaint participants in the first Faction Frenzy had.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
At least there was a bug with lightning. There's a memory leak that's been fixed. So a couple improvements in the back, in the trunk of the code, and definitely should be better today.
Yeah, and we're also, are we done with the squirrel ball meta? Is the new patch more varied now? Would you say?
It probably turned Squirrel Ball into Tier 1 Ball. That's just all I have to say.
Yeah, no, Squirrels got brought back down to 5 health. So a couple of the crowd control options should be a little bit stronger. But I don't know, we haven't seen much super competitive gaming since the last patch, so this will be a little bit of a trendsetter for the next tournament.
Alright, I'm just gonna get the room setting underway. It looks like we do have our first matchup. Let's talk about this matchup a little bit. It's going to be LeConte and Lima versus Mozzarella and Gaming Mistress.
Yeah, so I know that Mozzarella and Gaming Mistress are a husband and wife pair. So maybe there's a little bit of kind of psychic connection going on between them, that maybe they don't need to talk as much as other people would. Actually, they might be in the same room right now, so their communication should be on point. And as a couple.
All right, and LeConte and Lima, they call themselves the usual crew. Is Lima? So I'm pretty new to the community. Is Lima an older member of the community?
I think it's a friend of LeConte.
Okay, so they're gonna be playing together. So friends versus a couple. How do you think it's? How do you guys think it's gonna turn out?
Be interesting.
I'm personally rooting for Mozzarella and Gaming Mistress. Sorry, LeConte, but I think it'd be really cool to see their communication continue on the battlefield as they make their way through these brackets. LeConte and Lima, again, I haven't seen Lima play before. I know a little bit of LeConte's style, but I also haven't seen Gaming Mistress's style at all. I don't know how much she's been practicing, because I know that she just got access to the game not too long ago. And of course, Mozzarella Sticks has been playing for a while, so Mazza knows the game maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, my money's on LeConte just because I know he has quite a bit of experience, although it will be interesting to see how big of an advantage direct communication gives Mozzarella and Gaming Mistress.
Well, looks like we're excited for this first match to come up. Let's go greet our players in the lobby right now. They're sitting there very patiently waiting for us to join them, and here we go. On the cast today for this one, it's going to be me and Captain Fog up first, and we'll just rotate the chairs out every single moment we get. Let me just get the game up. There we go. It's on. Can we get sound too? There's sound. Awesome. Here we go! Game number 1 of Faction Frenzy 2. It's going to be Gaming Mistress, Mozzarella Sticks versus Lima and LeConte.
Waiting for LeConte to ready up here, but I'm interested to see how these teams will go through the army selection stage. Of course, 2v2 is a different game than 1v1. You have another opponent, and thus you have more options for what you can take in your deck. If you need to leave something out, perhaps your opponent can pick it up, and also leaves a lot of the game open to different kinds of strategies. And so right away, yeah.
I mean, it also opens up like a lot of really fun combinations too, wolf and owl, board, fox, all these like fun little things you can do with each other.
So, of course, you can see Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks in red and blue are going to be on one team, and Lima and LeConte in green and yellow on the other team. Lima's gone for artillery. I think we're going to see a lot of that because you can have your teammate block a lot of the incoming fire, and you can set up some harder defenses. So hopefully we'll see use out of that.
All right, here we go. It's going to be game number 1 between the usual crew and what was it? Quarter hopper with cheese. Ooh, bit of a lag. And here we go, off to the start. And this is a very interesting divided map.
Yeah, giant river down the middle of the map, which I always love to see. It means a lot of choke points across bridges. You get a lot of cinematic moments fighting across them. Mozzarella Sticks and Gaming Mistress up in the northeast as red and blue, and Lima and Licante in the southwest, or I guess that counts as the west, in green and yellow.
All right, and I'm really curious to see what kind of expansions these teams will be going for. There's some obvious expansions here on the waterfront for each of them to take, but although they might be a little bit dangerous since they're obviously going to be the main areas of fighting.
Yeah, I see that there's 3 bases up in the north. Those are a little bit more accessible by blue and green, so perhaps we'll see fighting between them over those bases. A little bit closer to Mozzarella Sticks at the time, but the majority of the bases are in the middle and to the east. There's this long strip, so a lot of the fighting is going to take place over there, and whoever controls the high ground on either side is going to dictate who controls those bases down by the river. Of course, we know that Lima has artillery, so he'll be able to control some of those bases with that long range and AoE fire.
All right,
In the meantime,
go ahead.
Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks going up to 2 Squirrel Warrens each. Lima and Licante going for 2 Squirrel Warrens and 2 Lizard Warrens, so a little bit of difference here to start.
Yeah, they've been going for these Warrens. Usually whenever you see like 1v1 matches, it's always like an 8 farm timing into Warrens is usually like the safest way to play. You can go a little earlier, but you will usually lose out in the economy towards the end. But doubles, it seems like it's probably better to actually go for economy first. And we actually see an early attempt here by Licante. Try and get some moles and lizards up to attack the blue camp from Mozzarella, but he's actually able to fend them off, the combination of squirrels from both sides, and Licante is left running away. Is he going to save that last mole? Oh, he's very close. They want to get that mole.
Yeah, Licante had a huge spike of units right in the early game. He went only for 6 farms and then started building units. But all of these units have dropped back down, and all players are about equal in army value now. Looks like the military structures, Matza is pulling a little bit ahead. He has a few more Warrens out. But in economy, Lima is the champion at the moment with the most getting his farms out first. So definitely for the more eco-focused bunch.
Now, what do you think about the opening builds coming out here? We see Gaming Mistress going with an early Ferret Warren. We have Lima going for the Skunks. Although, and Licante and Mozzarella, they haven't really committed to many tier 2s. It looks like Licante will be going for the Skunks, actually.
Yeah, we'll see double Skunk from Licante and Lima. Should be interesting against all of these squirrels for Matza and Gaming Mistress. Those squirrels, of course, with their reduced 5 health, will die very quickly to the Skunk's 2 damage per second of the gas. However, Gaming Mistress does have those ferrets, so it depends on how well Gaming Mistress can control those ferrets. They do have a longer range than the rest of the units on the field at the moment, so if Gaming Mistress can manipulate them well, she may be able to use them to an advantage.
Alright, we see Gaming Mistress putting down 3 machine gun nests down in front of her base, or rather in front of an expansion that she may be trying to take there, just trying to fortify her defensive structures. In the meantime, Mozzarella Sticks seems to be making a maneuver. He sees the green mill here made from Licante. He has a squirrel army just going after it. There's nothing Licante can do. That's 60 food lost.
Yeah, definitely. There was only, I don't think there was 1 farm being built there, but it is just 60 food, so it's not a huge loss, especially when you have your partner to try and match the economy. Lima and Licante on 19 farms total, whereas Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella are only on, oh, actually, they're on much more. They're on 23.
But we do see an interesting play coming out here, both Lima and Licante. They're trying to come around this left side here, trying to get to this mill. Mozzarella, though, he has an army waiting for them. He has the squirrels, and now he has a skunk as well, trying to crowd around the army, but it's skunk versus skunk going on in the mid zone. In the meanwhile, Gaming Mistress coming to reinforce Mozzarella's army. Can she bring enough units to drive them back? It does look like Licante is losing a good number of his lizards, but now Lima is now changing his direction towards Mistress's units, and she's actually losing some of her units as well. 1 ferret is down, a good number of her squirrels are down, and it looks like Quarter Hopper and Cheese, they're going to have to back out from this engagement a little bit, and this mill may be saved for the usual crew.
Yeah, Mozzarella Sticks lost his entire army in the first parts of that engagement. He is back up to where he was now, which is on top of everybody else. The Gaming Mistress also lost a fair number of units. So of the fight going down in the middle.
Oh, they have to defend this one, but all of Mozzarella's units are being chunked to pieces. There's so much skunk gas coming out, damaging all his units. And even though Mozzarella has skunk gas of his own, they're just walking through it right now, and they're going to take out that skunk warren, it looks like. Mozzarella can only sit by and watch as it's going to be taken out. And I don't think Mistress has enough units to try to back him up. Oh, what? Oh, wait, what?
Uh-oh. I think I crashed. I crashed, dude.
I
Did you
crashed.
crash?
Yeah, I just crashed.
All right,
Okay.
well, technical difficulties. Looks like the game crashed for everybody, I think. So we'll see if we can restart that.
Everybody crashed. Alright, so just to let people know, this is a pre-alpha game. There are bound to be some difficulties in many, many different aspects. It just so happens to have happened in this one for some reason.
Right after we said they made all these improvements.
I know, right? And it was looking good for so long, and then, you know. Alright, I'm back in. I'm making my way back to the room. Everyone has their own lobby. Spectate.
Well, we did see, before everything crashed there, we did see a lot of fighting between blue and green in that northwestern side. And both their partners coming to their rescue, and that's something that's interesting that you don't get in 1v1. If you get into a fight, your partner has to decide whether they're going to push somewhere else or whether they're going to help you out in your fight. And I guess the judgment call on that, deciding which one you're going to do, depends on a lot of things. 2v2 gets pretty complicated, especially compared to 1v1.
Alright. Let's see if we get back in the room. There we go. Nope, it looks like everyone's leaving this room, so I'll go find a different room. Gosh darn. Is it this room? Okay, here we go. I found the room. Okay, well, some technical difficulties. Sorry about that, guys. Here we are. We're back. It looks like we're going to be changing around the commanders a little bit. Lima and Laconte going to go for red and blue. Mozzarella and Mistress going to be going for yellow and green. Oh, well, I hope she goes to yellow. So yeah, for those wondering, your teams are determined by your color. So red and blue are one side, and green and yellow are the other side.
Although the last person to ready up does get the commander color of their choice. But here we go. Back into army selection. And we've seen both. Yeah, we've seen both teams see the others builds a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see whether they go for the exact same builds or whether they go for something a little bit different. I'm seeing skunks from both Laconte and Lima again, and that artillery again from Laconte and Lima. So perhaps during their practices, they have a set strategy or a couple set strategies that they want to stick with, as opposed to just doing things on the fly.
Yep. It does look like we're going to see the boar coming up Laconte, which is going to be an interesting choice. We haven't really seen a lot of boar previously, so it'll be exciting to see what they're going to do with the board in this one. I mean, it seems like a good pick in 2v2.
Yeah, definitely that AoE from the boar will get you very far, especially in the late game when you've got lots of tier 1s acting as a shield for the more expensive and potentially squishy tier 2 units or tier 3 units even. So having that boar in the front line with its 100 health and a big flamethrower that fires at a cone in front of it will be advantageous if it gets out on the field.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Game 1 between the usual crew and Quarter Hopper with Cheese. Lima Laconte in the red and blue, Gaming Mistress in the green and yellow. Let's see how this one will go. And this map is much less interesting than the last one, I have to say. Oh, man.
Much more standard of a map. The bases are spread out throughout the entire map. I will say both Laconte and Gaming Mistress have easy natural expansions. Mozzarella Sticks and Lima have a little bit more problem. They have to go a little bit forward if they want to naturally expand. But both Laconte and Gaming Mistress have easy expansions right to the sides of their base. So perhaps they'll be the more economic players. But most of the fighting is going to take place in the middle of the map this time, I believe. There's a nice road from Mozzarella Sticks base almost all the way to Lima's base. So if there are any losers out on the field, they might be taking advantage of that. But all players going up to 7 farms, except for Gaming Mistress, who's gone for 6 farm squirrels. Lima's just put down his first squirrel warren now. Mozzarella Sticks as well, so going for a little bit more standard 7 farm into warren, as opposed to Gaming Mistress's early, more aggressive 6 farm into warren.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I noticed that she does last time too, and I guess maybe it's something they planned with she played with Matza, so it'll be interesting to see how this will end up. But like, yeah, it would be interesting to see how they go with it. I do wonder if we're going to see the skunk again in this map. I mean, most likely considering how flat it is. And there goes LeConte.
Of course, when your commander dies, he's only dead for about 7 seconds, then you respawn. So for those of you who are just tuning in and don't know anything about the game, it isn't a huge problem.
It does look like Gaming Mistress is going for a mill first instead of finishing out her 8 farms, so...
That's an interesting strategy. A little bit more standard play would be to fill out your farms on your original base first, on your main, and then start expanding to somewhere else, because you have to make sure that you have enough units to back up your expansion.
But this isn't good. So LeConte now sees the expansion. He's going to go after the green one, but I think it might be the wrong one to go for, as Mozzarella actually has units there to defend it, but it does get destroyed very quickly with the combination of both Lima and LeConte's units, so that's some food gone from Mozzarella. And now they're going to swing around here. They see this yellow expansion as well. They're going to make their way down there. LeConte first there with his lizards. And they're all streaming in. Meanwhile, Gaming Mistress sees this coming, but she has to defend this mill. And she is out of a lot of food now because of that attack from LeConte.
Yeah, that's 180 food there she lost in one go.
Oh, but here we go. Mozzarella tries to catch the army from behind, but they do run away in time. The lizards are very fast little people, but they do see the red army here. They're going to swing back towards the left to try to take out Lima's units, and it forces LeConte back to try to defend them. The skunk gas from Lima does allow him to escape, but he does lose a good chunk of his squirrels. But they are able to escape relatively unharmed. So all in all, just a lot of damage done to the green and yellow side.
Yeah, Lima and LeConte definitely have a little bit of advantage, especially now as Lima throws down 4 farms and an expansion. Lima and LeConte have the economic advantage at this moment. Due to that lost space in the south that Gaming Mistress had. Of course, she was the leader until that point. But skunks out for Lima now. 2 skunks only. Gaming Mistress going for those ferrets again. The first one isn't out yet.
Just try.
LeConte on only lizards right now.
LeConte, I think he'll just play this like fast hit and run kind of stuff gameplay that you usually see with lizards, and then he's gonna get backed up by Lima, who's gonna go for a normal like skunk and squirrel setup here. It does look like they're trying to eye this bottom area here where Mozzarella has his army set up. He's trying to get his ferrets, though they may be a little bit slow if LeConte and Lima decide to attack though.
Yeah, LeConte is the meat shield in this LeConte-Lima pair right here. He's built only lizards, and Lima is the one who's ahead in terms of economy. He built his expansion first, and LeConte is just there to be the meat shield and to hit and run with those lizards.
Look how close she built that balloon though. So it has it's actually a really good distance, so it can scout out a huge chunk of the map for their side. And you know it's out of the way enough that LeConte and Lima probably won't be able to see it. But here we go. We do have another attack here. LeConte and Lima trying to go for Mozzarella's main base. It looks like they have the warns in front of them though, and they're trying to chunk them down as fast as possible. 1, 2 are down. 3 is sold. Mozzarella tried to salvage what he can here. Doesn't want to lose too much food here and try to drive them back. However, they swing around and go for Gaming Mistress's units instead. The ferrets are all taken out from her side, and now they're just going to be running away once more.
And Lima and Mozzarella Sticks lost the most units during that fight. Lima almost had the most units on the field, but Mozzarella Sticks was hurting all the way through it. And LeConte is going all the way back up, and actually both of them are going back up due to the amount of farms that they have. 13 for Lima, 9 for LeConte, 7 for Gaming Mistress, and 10 for Mozzarella Sticks. So Lima and LeConte still ahead.
It looks like we may be getting our first tier 3 units very soon. We have the wolf coming out from Lima and the boar. So a huge power spike there for that side. In the meantime, Gaming Mistress is going to be building into a fox. While Matza, he hasn't really gone for any tier 2s yet. He's just building a steady supply of squirrels.
Yeah, LeConte's board just got out, which I didn't notice him put that up. I missed that. And Lima is building a wolf right now, and that's a very dangerous combination. Lots of tier 1s. That wolf is going to give a 5 damage health, or a 5 damage buff to, which is going to melt through anything that comes their way. And that boar, especially with 5 damage, is going to absolutely side through any kind of tier 1 that comes at Licante and Lima on this field. Gaming Mistress with that Fox is going to have to micro it around and try and pick off as much as he can in the back lines because, of course, it looks like there's a fight going down. Little pokes back and forth, nothing too major.
Now they don't want to pop the wolf ult too early in the fight, nor have the boar go whole hog right away. In the meantime, I do like what Mozzarella and Mistress are doing, is setting up this nice little circle of balloons here in the front line, just to give them vision and front line. But here we go, Mozzarella has his troops out front, but the wolf buff is down, and here they come, flamethrowers and wolf buffs are coming. They immediately take out 1 balloon. Can they take out number 2? They take out 2 balloons. Lima and Licante are now making their way through this upper expansion Mozzarella has, and it's one of the very few farms that he has running for himself, and it's gone. Mozzarella is in starvation mode.
That was incredible. Taking down that base, that was the only base that was fully farming for Mozzarella Sticks. And losing this expansion here is just insult to injury. Mozzarella Sticks has nothing left. Gaming Mistress is the only person gathering food for their side, and Licante and Lima could just back off because they've been ahead all game, and they definitely have a lead at the moment.
He needs to hurry up and sell some warns fast, or else he's going to starve out. He does sell some units, but he has to keep on selling them because his turrets, his warrens are just auto-building more units. Can he get that farm up in time?
Mozzarella Sticks doesn't even have a base that he can build a farm on at the moment, which means you need at least 120 food, which of course is only at 4 food right now because of those warrens that are out there. So looking very bad for Mozzarella Sticks right now.
Ooh, the stem goes out. Lima's troops are approaching. They don't get the stem onto Licante's troops, but they might not even matter. And the Fox might be lost in the middle of all of this. Mistress loses her tier 3 units. She actually loses almost her entire army to this. And now Lima and Licante are just stomping their way back down to this expansion once more. Mozzarella cannot catch any breaks at this moment, as it's just mass of blue and red are just marching their way towards the final expansion of Mozzarella, and he is... Well, he's not... Oh, yeah, now he's out. There we go. And now, Gaming Mistress can only sit back and watch as the destruction now comes to her side of the map. Hopefully we can get there. I'm getting a little bit lag on my side.
Yeah, a little lag on my side, too. It looks like there's a lot of units on the field.
Oh, yeah. Well, looks like game number 1 is going to Lima and Licante.
Yeah, definitely. I think the swing moment of that game was definitely Gaming Mistress losing that base early on. It was only 180 food, but that kind of set the tone for the rest of the match. Gaming Mistress had invested a lot into that base, and losing that to Licante's Lizards was definitely a blow. And of course, Mozzarella Sticks losing the farming base that he had was definitely the death blow in that match.
Alright, here we go. Game number 1 going to the usual crew. Moz and Gaming Mistress looking to see how they can strike back with this one. I mean, what do you think they need to do? Is it their build orders that went wrong? Is it just they just didn't have enough units to fight on the field?
Yeah, I don't know. I think definitely Gaming Mistress building that expansion before Gaming Mistress had finished building her main was a mistake, in my opinion. Unless Gaming Mistress had more units to back up that expansion. Because once you build an expansion, you now have to protect it. Especially if your opponent, like Licante, has a bunch of lizards. With their increased speed, you can just kind of run around, take bases out all willy-nilly, and disrupt your lines. So maybe keeping a little bit closer until the army value is a little bit more equal. But here we go. Looks like Lima has gone for that artillery again. It looks like the same sort of builds. Licante has toads now. But every player on this field has ferrets now, which is interesting.
Well, we do see Mozza. He's going to be going for the Falcon as well. Let's see if you actually get the chance to use it, as it looks like we are going to be starting. It's going to be game number 2 between the usual crew and Quarter Hopper with Cheese.
Right, remember, if Lima and Licante win this game, they will advance to the next round, where Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks will unfortunately be out of the tournament. Let's see if they can bring it back together. It's going to be Lima and Licante in the west as red and blue, and Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks as a team as yellow and green in the east.
Just some basic scouting here so far. I mean, what do you think of the map?
This is going to be a tough one for Lima and Licante. They're on the low ground. Lima is going to have to traverse water if he wants to get to that northern expansion. Licante has a pretty easy path going up in terms of expansions, but Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks both have easy expansions that they can defend from high ground, which is going to be pretty important, as neither Lima or Licante have any flying units. Well, I guess Lima has pigeons, and Licante does have balloons. So Lima's going to be the one who needs to provide flying vision on this map.
All right. In the meantime, we see the early units coming out from Mistress and Mozzarella. 6, 7 farm timings to get their first horns out. 7 timing and 8 for Lima and Licante. So just
definitely same builds as last time. Getting squirrels for both Mozzarella and Gaming, and lizards and squirrels for Lima. We'll see if Licante is that meat shield again, or whether their roles switch. Because definitely Lima is in, or Licante is in the better position to expand. So if Lima can switch to be the meat shield role, Licante will have an easier time of expanding, but that's up to them.
I mean, if we have points for commander kills, I think Gaming Mistress and Mozza would win in that respect. But yeah, I mean, if you do get killed while scouting, that could be dangerous. And Gaming Mistress has purple warrens really far away from her base. I don't think the other side's even spotted it. Let me find out. Let me just take a look at the quick vision. Yeah, they don't even see those warrens.
All right.
That is something.
Licante does see the squirrels out now, though, so.
He knows there are squirrels, but he doesn't know where she placed the warrens, though. So, very nice placement coming out from Gaming Mistress, and now she's going to be... Now, I think she's doing a little bit better. She's putting units on the board, then going for the safer expansion. In the meantime, we see Mozzarella. He's going to get a gun nest onto the high ground there in the middle. So, it's going to give him some nice vision and attack advantage there.
Yeah, Gaming is just going for that nice natural expansion there. That's better. She has 9 squirrels this time to defend, although there's a lot of lizards and squirrels on the other side.
Conte does not want that to be finished building. And actually, it looks like the same as last time. He's just going to be darting in and out of them building stuff. In the meantime, Mozzarella, he is in the area. He does have a lot of units to defend, so if it ever comes to a big skirmish, he can bring his units over and try to take out Licante's lizards.
Although Licante's lizards are so fast, he might not be able to get there in time. I think Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks definitely need more defensive structures if they're going to hold... Oh, there we go. There's a machine gun turret just to the west of that lower base for Gaming Mistress, which is good. Definitely need something to try and defend that base, as the 12 squirrels now and 2 ferrets might be outclassed by the lizards and squirrels and skunk at this point.
Alright, Gaming Mistress puts her ferret warren behind, but Licante, he's swinging around the backside, and he does not care about the machine gun nest. This expansion is pretty much done for. Licante's lizards are just making their way towards it. Mistress and Mozzarella trying to get them out of it. They do actually save the mill, but a lot of 2 farms have been killed so far. No, they're going to swing back in. The ferret is now out for Gaming Mistress, though, as she is now swarming the units. The mill is going to be down, but that does give some time for them to chunk down some of the lizards one at a time. Here they go, and it looks like none will escape. Licante will lose a huge amount of his army.
Yeah, definitely. He did do his role. He was the meat shield for Lima's army. Both of them have expanded now and have 2 or 3 farms on the way. So 11 farms for each of them. Only 8 farms for Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks, unfortunately, due to that lost base from Gaming Mistress. Same thing that happened last time, actually.
What I do like is that Mozzarella is going to be building to falcons now. He has 2 warrens of falcons at the ready, which is going to work so well against, you know, the skunks that Lima is bringing out. They won't really be able to do anything, and that means Licante can't really build into his boar.
It's true. Of course, that skunk gas is not able to hit flying units as it's low-hanging gas on the ground. Licante again going for 18 lizards, just on lizards. He's a little bit up in the top there. Oh, he's found a base of Mozzarella Sticks and manages to take it out.
Alright, so that's 1 mill down for the count, but not quite yet done for himself there. It looks like we do have the wolf coming out for Lima. At the same time, Licante just trying to scout the northern areas of the map.
Yeah, again and again, Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks tries to expand have been cut down. And we just passed that 5-minute mark, which means the first 4 farms at each player's base have farmed out. but Mozzarella Sticks is going to make his move now.
All right, there they go. Make their way down there. Another warning to be taken out from Lima, thanks to Mozzarella. But now Mozzarella's Falcons are in full effect right now. Those skunks, they're shooting the ground, but they can't really kill those Falcons quite fast enough. He does have squirrels to take out some Falcons. And there they go, though. It looks like they are going to be on the retreat. They have to be very careful, though, about that balloon. And it looks like that Falcon will finally be gone.
Yeah, that was a very even fight right until those Falcons were taken out from Mozzarella Sticks. Now Matza and Gaming Mistress are on the bottom of the army value graph, unfortunately. LeConte and Lima have pulled ahead. Lima's only on 3 farms, though. LeConte's on 8. Gaming Mistress on 7. Mozzarella Sticks on 4. So Lima and LeConte slightly ahead because they've had their armies up for a little bit longer. They're very ahead in terms of army value, though. There's so many lizards, and that wolf, of course, out right now.
And they're coming their way down. Mistress can only watch as her units just get surrounded completely by the lizards. And now the wolf is going to be joining in the fun. There goes the buff onto everything that they have. There goes that expansion. Luckily, the Warrens are still unscathed for now, but no, not for long. LeConte sees them, and he wants them gone as well.
That's disastrous for Gaming Mistress and Mozzarella Sticks. Again, they've been beaten back most of this game, but now that those expansions have been destroyed again, there's just no hope for them.
Yep, it looks like Mistress will be the first one to go here this time. As a lizard, there's so many lizards here. And they're approaching Mozzarella's side of the map. Oh no, this is not looking good for them. This is pretty much a GG at this point.
Lima is on no farms, so that starvation timer is going down 60 seconds before he's out of game. But at this point, I don't think it matters. LeConte has 5 farms. And there we go. GG comes out.
All right. And there you have it. The usual crew and Gaming Mistress. No, the usual crew will be moving on over Quarter Hopper and Cheese. These Lima and LeConte will be up facing their next opponent.
Yeah, something I noticed in that match, because of the way that the map was situated, LeConte and Lima were often in the same place at the same time with their armies, whereas Mozzarella Sticks was kind of up off in the hills building his army, but didn't quite have them in the correct positioning, which meant that Gaming Mistress's army was teamed up on in the first initial moments of the fight, and ended up, the green units come in later, but it's not quite good enough.
Alright, well, as we wait for the next lobby, we'll be right back very soon. Thank you guys for watching. This is Faction Frenzy. We'll be here with the next matchup. It's going to be Fire Donguses versus Public Metal. Stay tuned, guys. This is going to be a very interesting one. Alright guys, welcome back to some more Faction Frenzy here. We're here with our second set of matches here. It's going to be Classic Metal and Freak Spot versus the Will Gamer 99 and Firewolf. Alright, what do you guys think about this matchup here?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Classic Metal brings to this. Of course, the squirrels have been nerfed. Classic Metal's favorite strategy, giant balls of squirrels, will still be useful, maybe not quite as useful as it was before. But we'll see what happens. Of course, Classic Metal and Free Spot, both players that have played a lot. I think they have a little bit more experience on their side compared to the Will Gamer and Firewolf, but that remains to be seen. Of course, it's a whole different ballgame when you get to 2v2, because your communication and your coordination with your partner matters a lot more.
Okay, this will be an interesting game. Classic Metal and Freak Spot, or Public, as he's known now, have more experience with the game. Will and Firewolf are newer, although I do believe in their ability to come up with some decent strats. So we have Classic Metal and Public playing Archimedes and Quartermaster, Will and Firewolf going for Battlefield and Hopper.
Yeah, Will Gamer grabbing that artillery. We haven't seen artillery out in this game, but definitely in the late game, artillery can make a huge difference in 2v2. Freak Spot and Classic Metal, of course. You see squirrels from Classic Metal and Freak Spot. Will Gamer has only taken moles as his tier 1. It's an interesting design move. Firewolf's going to be more heavily tier 1 this game, I guess, to compensate. Or else they'll be a little bit underperforming compared to Classic Metal and Freak Spot.
I am curious how Firewolf and Will plan to work together to make Will's moles work. Anyway, let's take a look at the map here. Interesting split. Firewolf and Will to the northeast, Classic Metal and Public to the southwest, with a nice hill going down the middle, and the expansions spread pretty evenly.
Yeah, this is interesting. Classic Metal and Freak Spot are separated by a line of trees. There is a little bit of a way around back, but their reinforcements are going to be a little bit split, trying to come in if one side gets attacked and not the other. They're going to have to decide which side to defend and which side to kind of leave alone, or they're just going to be on their own during a lot of fights, which is going to be interesting compared to the Will Gamer and Firewolf, who will have an easier time reinforcing each other should they get attacked.
Yes, the map does force Classic Metal and Public to sort of fight each on his own lane, although they can join forces and take the hill in the middle, which also has a number of expansion signs, which would be good for map control.
All right, the Will Gamer has gone for 6 farm balloon, which is a strategy that I've never seen before. Of course, that balloon will give increased vision, as well as a little bit of defense from early attacks. Of course, that balloon is going to have a hard time against a massive tier 1s because it's lots of damage is wasted on tier 1s which have low health.
That is true. The balloon is, however, a good deterrent for scouting early on, as the commander has really low health. However, Classic Metal and Public are building up their armies quickly, so that balloon will not be effective for long.
Yeah, second balloon going up for the Will Gamer, very nicely spaced to shut down the other entrance, and it's on the high ground, so Free Spot does not see it at this time, coming in with those lizards around, and it is up now. Lizards are going to start attacking, and Firewolf is going to be hard-pressed to try and defend. The balloon does go down, but a lot of the lizards go down all at once as well. It looks like that the second balloon is almost down as well. There it goes, down, and only a few squirrels left alive, but they're going to start chipping away at the base here. And Firewolf is going to have to run and be the firefighter, so to speak, to come in and try and defend the space that the Will Gamer has taken. Meanwhile, Free Spot coming in from the side with the rest of his tier 1 army, and it looks like the Will Gamer's base is not long for this world, especially because the Will Gamer has no units out on the field at the moment.
Indeed, it may seem that going for moles only for tier 1 may have been a pretty unfortunate choice. Plus a really early expansion, instead of maybe investing in more defenses, that would have helped a little bit. Although Classic Metal and Public's forces joined together, it's gonna be... I don't think they really have a chance, to be honest.
And early elimination from the Will Gamer. Something you notice that timer, that food counter there is stuck at not stuck at 300. It was all the way up to 300. So he had lots of food and he had moles. He could have had some sort of army to defend with, but unfortunately didn't place them down in time. He tried to go for another expansion, but of course that expansion has to be fully up before the last your last expansion falls down in order for it to count. If it's still building, you still lose the game, unfortunately. So Fire Gamer is left in a very difficult position. 6 farms to 16. So Classic Metal and Free Spot have 10 more farms and a whole lot of army value.
The
very
Classic Metal and
hard-pressed to
Public
defend.
are going for a huge tier 1 ball. It will be real difficult for Firewolf to keep up. He has 12 scrolls and a few pigeons, plus the pigs, although that may not be that effective. Probably not at all, actually.
All right, and here we go. The horde of yellow and green moving across the field and taking game 1 for Classic Metal and Freak Spot. That was an unfortunate first game for the Will Gamer and Firewolf. I definitely think that putting those balloons up was a little bit too much of an investment without Firewolf to try and defend that. You kind of held on for a little bit, but those balloons just don't quite put out enough DPS quickly enough in order to take down hordes of tier 1s in the early game.
The balloons are better deterrent against scouting, not as good as a deterrent against tier 1 armies. So they did their job at holding off the enemy commanders from scouting, but as soon as the squirrels and lizards kicked in, there wasn't much Firewolf and Will could do.
Yeah, might have worked out a little bit better if they were machine gun turrets, which fire faster than the balloons, although they have less DPS. They do output it a little bit faster, so there's less of a time window. You're able to take out more.
Not to mention that for the cost of 1 balloon, you can build 2 machine gun nests.
Very true. Here we go into army selection for Game 2 of Classic Metal and Freak Spot versus the Will Gamer and Firewolf. Classic Metal Freak Spot up 1 point, which means if they win this next game, they will advance to the next round. And Firewolf and the Will Gamer, unfortunately, will be out of the tournament. Looks like Classic Metal and Freak Spot going for similar builds. The Will Gamer has taken Toads and Pigeons, which is an interesting tier 1 combination. Of course, the Toads will explode. That is their role in area. And Pigeons will heal, so not a great tier 1 combination unless you're using those Toads in very close coordination with your partner of Firewolf, who does have a little bit more standard squirrels, lizards, pigeons.
You can use the pigeons to keep your toads alive a little longer so they can reach the target. So that could work out, although you need to micro them you need to have some micro skills to make it work. Public's build also piques my interest a little bit. He has scrolls, toads, and moles for tier 1. And I'm curious, what is his build order? What does he want to do with those units?
Let's see, Classic is a little bit more tier 2. Is one more tier 2 than Freak Spot, but about even split. Whereas the Will Gamer is going to be working very closely with Firewolf in order to do well in this game.
Okay, so the map is pretty interesting again. Firewolf and Will have the east side. Firewolf does have the high ground, Will's on the low ground. Classic Metal and Public have the high ground there on the west side. Their bases are close together, so they could work together for defense. There's a road connecting the bases of the players, and a good number of the expansions are split down the split on the hill in the middle.
Yeah, definitely, any lizards going from base to base are going to have a pretty easy time going from road to road as they go across the field. All players at 6 farms right now. This is when the builds will start diverging if the players don't go for the standard 7-farm warren. So everybody's going to go 7 farms.
Let's see what the first warren will be. And it is, so we have scrolls from Classic Metal, scrolls from Public, and toads from Will. Firewolf has yet to build any warrens. Oh, he just builds a scroll warren now. We'll see how the scrolls will be able to assist the toads.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to have to go in at the same time. A little bit of barbed wire coming on the road from the Will Gamer. That's going to do very well against the squirrels. It's pretty well placed in that choke point. There's no way that the squirrels can get around to either side unless they go all the way around. And of course, squirrels cannot attack barbed wire once it is down. Although Classic Metal, Freak Spot has moles. So he'll be able to take those out as long as he sees them and starts building the mole in time.
Okay, that barbed wire there is placed. It's placed well indeed because the units also prioritize roads, so they will just go to that barbed wire like it's nobody's business. But meanwhile, Classic Mel and Public are building up their armies. Classic Mel goes for squirrels only so far. Public has his 3 toads, some squirrels, and a mole. 2 moles soon, actually. Firewolf has squirrels and pigeons and lizards coming up soon, whereas Will has only his toads. Although he does build 2 expansions.
All right, here we go. Fight from yellow and green in the top, and the Will Gamer's toads are across the map, unfortunately, in the wrong place. Firewolf getting taken down, very hard pressed. The toads are coming in now, but it might be a little bit too late. 3 Warrens have gone down for Firewolf at the moment, and more reinforcements streaming across the map. They are going to meet strong defense from these pigs here. 2 farms go down. It looks like that's going to be as much as they can get. The last few units, maybe not. Oh, not quite getting taken out. The 3 squirrels from Classic Metal managing to take out another farm before they get taken out, and Firewolf has to rebuild now, plopping down 2 squirrel warrens to try and compensate for 3 to compensate for the ones that he lost.
Indeed, those were actually they did a pretty good job at saving Firewall's base there, even though they do have to rebuild. Although Classic Mel and Public are going in for another attack, this is a joint attack. Classic Mel brings in his squirrels, where Freak Spot Public brings in his toads and squirrels and moles.
It's
But
possible
they decide to not go for the attack just yet.
Looks like that barbed wire is dissuading them from going across the middle of the map, which is good for the Will Gamer and Firewolf. The Will Gamer bringing his toads around to the side, doesn't have vision up onto that high ground, unfortunately. Hasn't built those pigeons yet, so we won't be able to see what's coming. The mole is coming down from Freak Spot now to take out that barbed wire. They do take it out. Will Gamer a little bit too late to defend that, and in comes Freak Spot, trying to dance around, deciding when's the best time to go in. Again, Firewolf's army being brought in now, nice and quick reinforcement along that road. Both armies posturing now, not sure who's going to attack first. Will Gamer is building a sniper balloon on that high ground, but it might not get up in time. Snakes and chameleons out for green and yellow at the moment. Here they come into the fight right now, into the choke point between. All of the Will Gamer's toads are gone now. That sniper balloon is up, so it is going to start picking things off, but I don't know if it's going to be quick enough. Toads, a massive toad hit going down from the Will Gamer as those toads respawn, but green and yellow just scything into blue's units, and blue losing their main base right now, unfortunately.
Blue did not have much of a force that could deal with green and yellow's army. Some toads and a sniper balloon will not too much against such a huge, massive units. Whereas Firewolf was sort of left alone, given that Will had no other tier 1 units. So he had to do what he had, and...
Alright, Firewolf doing a fairly good job of defending these units here. Freak Spot's units are trickling in one by one, which allows Firewolf to take them out. But Firewolf and Will Gamer are a little bit far... Oh, actually, no, they're still ahead in terms of farms. It looks like they have done a little bit better job of expanding. So they're at 11 farms to Classic Metal and Freak Spot's 10. So reinforcements coming in pretty quick, and a second sniper balloon up for the Will Gamer. But in comes the combined army now from Classic Metal and Freak Spot, and the Will Gamer only has 1 hawk to help with this time. Those balloons are not in range. Firewolf's army getting cut out in its entirety. 1 ferret left, unfortunately. Firewolf is going to be out of this game.
Is out. Now Will has only 3 sniper balloons and a couple of falcons. Those will not hold out for very long. And in come the snakes, count the scrolls. Although they do come in one by one, which helps Will a little bit. You know, at this point, it really doesn't matter. And Classic Metal and Public won.
Classic Metal and Public taking game 2 to advance into the next round. GG. Quick 2-0 for them. What do you think was their downfall? Those Will Gamers and Firewolves' downfall in that match?
Well, probably the most obvious thing would be the rather exotic decks. Toads only don't really work, and because of the units Will picked, Firewolf had to really had to play as well as he could, get an army out so he can do a lot of defending. Meanwhile, Public and Classic Mel did do a pretty good job of working together. They just attacked at the same time, and the combined force of their two armies was enough to take out Firewolf and Will.
All right, well, let's pass this one back to Best Teammaker for the next thing that's going on.
Yep, so Public Metal will be moving on to the next round to face the Squirtle Squad. In the meantime, we will be setting up for our next match. Stay tuned, guys. We have more Faction Frenzy and Tooth and Tail action coming your way. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Faction Frenzy. We are in the semifinals now for our next match. It's going to be the Double D's versus the usual crew, Dead Bones and Dando versus Lima and LeConte.
definitely Dead Bones, the Double D's, the favorites to win this tournament. Of course, Dead Bones is the winner of the last Clash of Comrades tournament, September Showdown. So definitely a lot of skill on that side of the field.
All right, looks like we are in our way into the lobby right now. It's going to be me and MJ casting for this one. That's going to be exciting indeed.
It will.
Dead Bones, the last time he was playing in the doubles tournament, he was the winner along with Lev, but he has opted to go for a different partner this time.
And yes, Lev was not able to join or not able to join in time. So
I think it was like banned that they ever play together again or something like that.
Yes, I mean, to be honest, Lev Bones was just a little bit OP. Just a little bit.
Anyways, here we are. We're in the unit selection, and already we have some very interesting choices. Dead Bones going for the Toads, and AoE LeConte with the Boar. Here we go. It's going to be game number 1 between the Double D's and the usual crew.
Ooh, yeah, let's do this.
Let's get into the match, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Pop out. There she is.
Right, so let's take a look at the map here. A fairly interesting map. Lima and LeConte have the north with some high ground advantage, whereas Dead Bones and Hernando have the low ground south, although they have quicker access to some of the expansions on the map, which are split pretty evenly across the middle. And there's also a river going through the map.
I'm a little worried because Lima's expansions, they're actually pretty far out away from where he would probably like them to be. I mean, you think there'd be expansion that hill right in front of his base, but there isn't.
Indeed, LeConte has much easier access to expansions, whereas Lima, not so much.
Well, in the meantime, we do just see them scouting out at the moment. We're just gonna toggle the view just for a little bit so you can just see what each other are saying and see if they can find out where the bases are. In the meantime, we're still waiting. It looks like both teams are going to go for the 8 farm timings for their units.
Hernando and Dead Bones do place their warns first, both scroll warns, and we see a scroll warn from Lima and a lizard warn from LeConte.
2 lizard warns, in fact. So he's going to go all out the lizard once more. And right now, just try and see, like, where do you see this a good army composition coming out from both of them for this map?
Well, looking at Lima and LeConte, Lima could use the ferrets and the skunks to do a bit of map control, especially given that there are roads going to his base. That will make his job a lot easier. LeConte also has falcons to cover the area if needed. Hernando only has chameleons for tier 2, so he will have to rely on Dead Bones for a bit of backup.
And we do see just early squirrel warns coming out from both sides. Dead Bones going with the Toads as well. A lot of Toads. It looks like 2 warns worth of Toads immediately going down at the moment.
And LeConte builds a stealthy-ish expansion to the west. Lima gets the expansion next to it.
And they're also building their tier 2s right now. We have the skunks coming in for Lima, LeConte with the snakes, and they even take out Dead Bones in the process. One a little bit too close to the army.
So snakes and skunks it is first. Meanwhile, Dead Bones and Hernando stick to tier 1. Dead Bones with scrolls and toads, and Hernando with scrolls and pigeons. Should be a pretty good composition.
Now, with the expansions that both LeConte and Lima have taken, do you think they're going to be going for a more turtling kind of gameplay?
Their expansions are on the high ground, and the map also allows them to build defenses next to it, so that would be a possibility. Although, I think at least for LeConte's expansion, if the vision provided by Hernando's pigeons, Hernando and Dead Bones could still take it out from the low ground, or at least a good chunk of it.
Alright, we do see some more warns coming out. The Chameleons and Falcons for LeConte says all 3 of his tier 2 units on the field, and hopefully we'll be able to see the board too. In the meantime, Lima gonna keep on building those tier 1s. We see Chameleons also coming out of Hernando's side.
What I'm interested in is how will LeConte manage to get an economy to sustain 3 different tier 2 warrants. Right now he has 2 bases fully built, or at least in construction.
He's on 15 farms right now, so I think he's gonna be pretty darn good with his economy.
At least for the moment. And we also see an artillery cannon coming up from Lima. It should really fend off Deadbones and Demando's attempts at attacking for now.
Alright, looks like they're just gonna back off with each other. Yeah, Deadbones and Dornando just sitting there staring down that artillery. They realize it's going to be a little bit of an issue. They're going to see if they get some more vision with the balloons up just in case they try to attack. But very nice artillery placement. It's going to make it hard for them to actually press on forward. I'm not even sure if they're going to consider going around the backside. They just seem very adamant about going through the middle here.
Yes, it does seem that the middle is where most of the action's gonna be, although Lima is doing another scouting run via the sort of back door Lima and Lecante have. However, Dornando and Deadbones are building a lot of units, and they're also getting their economy up.
Alright, please FPS, stay strong. There are a lot of units on the field, but it's only because we're going to see a very epic battle hopefully coming soon. Lima is going to bring out his wolf.
I believe in you.
Alright, they got the wolf on the field very soon. It's only building right now, so nothing quite yet. Dornando is also going to get his. Deadbones also with the fox on his way, so we're going to be seeing some tier 3 influences on the battlefield soon enough. But I'm not sure what they're going to do against our artillery, because they have to find some way to get to it through Lima and Lecante's army.
Yes, their artillery there is also real well defended by Lima and Lecante's army. So that going via the middle is gonna be really tough. Lecante did try to build a second expansion to the west, although Deadbones did see it and they took it out.
Alright, so
Lima is building our stealth expansion though.
It looks like it might have been scouted out. Dornando. Oh, maybe not yet. He's not really reacting to that expansion at all. Expansion far here to the right side. And Lima, it's going to be finished building from Lima, so he has some more farm available to him. Although it's not a very good base, if you look at it.
It is surrounded by water, but it does not have any land around it where you could build defenses, so it's really only based in units.
In the meantime, we have some artillery coming out for Dornando as well. So the combination of artillery and balloons does give them the side advantage, but it looks like Lecante and Lima are going to try to attack first. But Deadbones already finds these left expansion, takes them out with the contingent of ferrets, and here we are in the middle with just a swarm of colors right now. But it looks like yellow, they're trying to cut their way through to the middle, and they actually take out a very huge amount of Lecante's troops. All his tier 2 units are gone.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, the back door from Deadbones just killed off Lecante.
Indeed, he is gone. No economy whatsoever. I also noticed just before the battle started, Dornando also built an artillery cannon on his own in the middle area. So that also helped him quite a bit. Okay, Dornando and Deadbones are going for the attack, and Lima and Lecante surrender.
And there we go. Game 1 going to go to the double D's here. Taking out, look how much Lecante built up, and it's at the end. They all just like perished.
Yeah, just took a nosedive down.
Gosh damn. Look at that drop.
Yeah.
Well, game 2, hopefully they'll find some way to make sure they don't lose that much value again.
We'll see. Their artillery there, Lima and Lecante builds, really helped them at least make the game longer, so at least fend off some of the early attack attempts.
I will say, do you think that Lima and Lecante should have been more aggressive then in that case?
I maybe just a little bit. Even though the artillery cannon was a good defense structure, maybe if that money went to something else and Lima and Lecante attacked maybe go around, not directly, they could have done some serious damage to Dornando and Deadbones.
Well, here we go. It's going to be game number 2 now. Lima and Lecante down against Dornando and Deadbones. Looks like Lecante going to stick with his tier 2 units. Lima Looks like actually same build all around. Yeah, nothing too different here, I see.
We see artillery cannons again, so we'll see if those get used. Fernando and Deadbones have a bit of a high ground advantage. Fernando's natural expansion that provides some really good territory for a contain of the southern side of the map. So that would leave Lima and Lecante having to go around the body of water in the middle of the map.
Yeah, these are very weird expansion options for those two guys. It's like one to the left for Lima, but Lecante's, he does have one up close to him, so he has some economy go to his name. But then after that, there's just this weird land bridge just separating the two sides of the map here. Like there used to be a lake here or something, it looks like.
Yeah, it is an interesting looking map. Sometimes the map generator can truly surprise. Sometimes you get a beautiful looking map, sometimes a plain map, sometimes you get an awful contained spawn. But this time that is not the case.
And it looks like Deadbone's going to be going for a very early expansion here. He's going to expand onto that high ground there right in front of his partner's base. He just wants to keep this area to himself.
That is true.
Make sure they get...
So far, everyone's going for scrolls. About the same number of farms for everyone.
Actually, with that mill there, they could actually build artillery and balloons really aggressively far forward. And kind of choke out Lima and Lecante.
Yes, I guess if they nail the positioning, they could really maximize the effectiveness
there we
of
go.
their defensive structures.
Fernando puts down the balloon, but I don't think it's going to be done fast enough. Lecante already sees that he has the Squirrel Army along with Lima, takes out the balloon, and now they're going to go on forward, seeing if they can try to attack the expansion. And it looks like it's going to be down pretty fast. Just need a few more tips. There we go.
They managed to take it down, although they are pulling back.
And they lose. Lima loses a few squirrels, but that's not huge damage there compared to the mill being gone. And Deadbones loses that sort of advantage there for his team.
Indeed, the territory would have been very useful.
Yeah, and I do like the more aggressive approach Lecante and Lima are taking right now. They're going to make sure that Deadbones and Fernando don't get very comfortable building their bases. And actually right now they're going to go for round number 2. They want to take out the sniper balloon now, it looks like. They're going to swarm around and take it out immediately. Now they're going to go against the squirrels here on either side. It's squirrels only here. Final destination, no items. Here we go. Lima and Lecante, though, just back out. They don't want to lose their entire army quite yet.
Even though they had numerically more scrolls, the fact that they were attacking close to Hernando's base, the pigs also chipped in with some DPS, and that was that.
Alright, so let's just take a look at the numbers once more. We do see Lima just building a giant, massive army of squirrels. He has pigeons out as well for some support there. And in the meantime, we're going to see Fernando just going to re-put up the balloons. He's going to have to use the money for that to try to defend his base. And now it looks like Deadbones and Fernando are put in a pretty defensive situation themselves.
Indeed. This time it looks like that the strats may have switched around. Lima and Lecante are the aggressive ones, where Fernando and Deadbones this time kind of have to be more defensive.
Ooh, Lima unfortunately got himself killed, so he can't get his units up there, but it looks like they may be able to take out... No, not quite yet! Deadbones moves his units just in front before they could get the final blow onto it, and Lima, not being there in time, wasn't able to give the vision his squirrels needed. He wasn't even able to move them close enough to shoot.
The Deadbones managed to tank the shots with the squirrels, saving the expansion and the 2 farms on it.
Alright, now Fernando.
Surprisingly enough, only now I see an expansion from Lima, and so far none from Lecante.
Yeah, it looks like they're focusing all in on this approach. Here they go once more again, just trying to chip their way in and out. But they're just going to they're not going to go approach anymore, I think. At least not for the time being. Fernando, Deadbones have positioned their units very nicely here to defend this hill. But I don't think they're done yet.
They seem to want to go around. Lima also has skunks out, and Lecante has so far 1 chameleon.
Oh, he also has a chameleon out there as well. He's going to get a second chameleon out very soon. And now the question, now Fernando and Deadbones are wondering, where are Lima and Lecante now? And they don't have any defenses to the north of their bases. Oh
yes,
no, the
here
expansions.
comes the attack.
The expansion just being finished built. Here comes the attack. That expansion is now gone. LeConte and Lima now marching their way. They have skunks and pigeons there to back them up here. Fernando doesn't have his tier 2 units out yet. Deadbones only has one fair at the moment. Is this going to be enough for them to hold it here and defend? Lima's skunk is just putting down so much gas on the field right now. It's choking out Deadbones and squirrels. And now it looks like they are going to be able to take out some structures, but the balloons are still standing. The artillery is now building for Denanda, but he's going to have to sell it right away. He doesn't want to lose it in this skirmish. And they are going to defend this, but a pretty bit of a costly defense for Denando and Deadbones here. Lose a good number of their army. Fernando especially. Look at, he has already a low army count, and now it's even lower.
They did survive, but at what cost? It was an intense battle though. LeConte does have quite a bit of extra food, which we'll see what he decides to spend it on.
And you do see LeConte, he's going to build up some... He sold most of his squirrels, and it looks like he's going to be building up into an expansion and some more chameleons here. They see the expansion building for LeConte, but I don't know if they can do anything about it at this moment. Well, Deadbones wants to do something about it. He's going to bring his units there, rallying Dernando to the cause as well, but they're not going to commit just yet. Also, they have to be careful down below. There's this lone skunk trying to make his way there. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Alright. Looks like Deadbones wanted to try and snipe something with the ferrets, but decided to, we'll just full attack.
Oh, and this is a problem. Now, Deadbones has the number advantage here. They take out one, they take out two, and that's going to be game. Dernando and Deadbones take this one, 2-0.
GG. Well played there.
It looks like that Lima and LeConte were actually going to take that one, but Deadbones, just look at how many units Deadbones built by the end of it.
They were a hell of a lot more aggressive this time, which I think helped them. But in the end, Deadbones and Dernando just took the game.
Alright.
Okay, so
there we go. Double D's will be moving on to the grand finals. Meanwhile, LeConte and Lima will be dropping down into the bronze match, which we will feature a little bit later on. But right now, next, we're going to have another matchup soon. I mean, Captain, what do you think of this next upcoming one?
I'm definitely excited about it.
The thunderstorm just came in as soon as you just talked. So
the captain has arrived.
I am here now. It is me, Squirtle Squad and Public Metal. Again, Public Metal did really well in that first matchup there. I'm interested to see whether the Squirtle Squad can take them down. Of course, Public Metal is already all kind of warmed up for this. They've had a little bit of experience now. 2-0. They're riding the high of 2-0. So we'll see if the Squirtle Squad can take them down or whether Public Metal can advance to take on the Double Ds in the grand finals.
Well, let's find out. We're going to be taking a very quick break. This has been Clash of Comrades with Faction Frenzy. We will be right back.
I guess.
Alright, there goes the horn. We are back for some more Faction Frenzy. Let's go to the next semifinals match. It's the Squirtle Squad versus Public Metal. What do you guys think about this one?
Again, I'm super excited to see whether the Squirtle Squad will be able to take on the monster that is Public Metal and make it to the grand finals, or whether Public Metal will endure the test of Faction Frenzy, starting out in that lower round 1. To get to the semifinals, take on the Double Ds.
All right, any other thoughts from the panel before we move on forward?
I'd just like to say hi properly this time. Hello, people.
All right, well, here you go. It's going to be me and Captain Fuck here casting for this one. We got Siege Ross and Sniper Man versus Classic Metal and Freak Spot. This is going to be a fun match indeed. I mean, CJ, he's a guy that we've missed watching in tournaments. He sadly was not able to go to the playoffs due to his schedule. But he played very fantastically during his run of September Showdown.
Yeah, definitely. We are into Army selection now. We've got Freak Spot and Classic Metal going for Squirrels, of course. It'll be interesting to see whether they take the same builds they took in the previous matchup in Sanitarium and Sniperman, or Siege Ross and Sniperman. Again, we're seeing that artillery out there. We saw that it did a lot of good in the last game, whether it was tanking damage or taking out reinforcements or just kind of shutting down a whole area. So it'll be interesting to see if Sniperman can utilize it in this matchup.
Here's the barbed wire coming out here. It's going to be quite the game. Number 1. It's going to be Public Metal versus the Squirtle Squad.
We go in Sanitarium and Sniperman as the Squirtle Squad is red and blue in the southwest. And Classic Metal and Freak Spot as red and green, or blue colors, yellow and green in the east.
So, I have to say, if I was rolling the dice to see what kind of expansions I got, you know, I'd want to have the luck that CJ and Sniper have.
Wow, that is absurd. The reason we're laughing here is because there are a lot of bases on the side of Insanitarium and Sniperman. Classic Metal and Free Spot have one safe base, but that even has a ledge above it, so it might be easy to take out should Sniperman and Insanitarium get on that top high ground. But if you draw a line down the middle of the map, most of the bases are on the side of red and blue, which means they're going to have a big advantage in the long game.
Well, here we go. We're going to have just, looks like both sides just going to go to the 8 farms. It looks like no real sign of units quite yet. Oh, there's Classic Metal with Squirrels. And looks like everyone will be following suit very shortly. I mean, in the meantime, like, what do you think, what do you think Freak Spot and Classic Metal are going to have to do here?
I think what they've been doing so far has been working well. You've got Classic Metal's Balls of Squirrels. You've got Freak Spot backing up. I played a couple games with Freak Spot earlier this morning, and he thoroughly trounced me. So he's definitely, not that that's that hard to do, not that that's that hard to do, but definitely is warmed up and they're ready to communicate between each other.
In the meantime, we do have the initial warrants coming out public. He has his lizard warrants and 2 squirrel warrants placed down for himself, while Sniper Man will be following suit but with pigeons instead of lizards.
Alright, Insanitarium going down to the combined firepower of yellow and green. Of course, not a huge deal. Come back in about 7 seconds. So all he loses is control of his army and a little bit of scouting time. Free Spot going down in return. So commander deaths 1-1.
I mean, it looks like nothing too aggressive coming out either side, although Freak Spot, he's like moved his units out pretty far forward there.
Oh, and Insanitarium has gone for a Chameleon Warren, which is a little bit early.
Oh, this is something I love to see from this guy. He loves his chameleons. It's glad to see him do it. But in the meantime, Sniperman tries to build an expansion, and Freak Spot tried to go for it, but it looks like Sanitarium was able to get there fast enough before he to do it, and now the balloon is up in time, or it gets taken down very quickly, and now Sniper and Sanitarium have to fight off against Classic Metal Squirrels. 11 squirrels right now, but it's going to be 15 very soon, and they're just marching their way towards the bases right now, just trying to take out as much farm as they can, as many units, and the damage is pretty much real here. Sniper Man loses 3 farms in this engagement, and they're out.
Yeah, that chameleon is out now, and it did a fair amount of damage. I saw it take down 4 or 5 squirrels that were meandering their way along the road to reinforce. Definitely a terrifying thing if you're a squirrel to be running down the road, excited to join your friends, and then immediately get smacked in the face with a spiky club.
Yep. Both sides have the chameleons out for themselves, and it looks like this lone green chameleon is going to be going after this mill here by himself. Look how much damage he's going to be doing with each swing. Sniperman has to get here really fast in order to fend off against Chameleon. Chameleon, now invisible, just walks away from the call free spot.
That was a nice play. Definitely dragging Sniperman's army out of position, but also a little bit of psychological warfare. You've got those chameleons popping up out of nowhere.
All right, the balloon's up once more, this time for a sanitarium, but can his squirrels last long enough for it to go up? And it's down once more. These balloons are not getting up fast enough to defend them. And now, this newly built mill that sanitarium put money into, it's gone already.
And you can see Classic Metal and Freak Spot just winning engagement after engagement here.
Oh, there goes Sniper Man. He's not out quite yet. He still has one more expansion. And it looks like they're trying to figure out where to go now. They're bringing their army. They still have reinforcements of squirrels coming in. They're going to go after Sanitarium here on the bottom. He does not have many units. He has a few squirrels, but that's not enough. He is out.
Sniperman's going to be very hard pressed. He's got 4 farms building, but the army is coming in right now. He doesn't have any units on the field right now.
Oh, there we go. Sniperman trying to get his pigs to do some battling here, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to be game. Classic Metal and Public take a very aggressive game number 1.
Geez, I don't know whether that's a factor of their teamwork together or whether they're warmed up because they've been playing. They're riding the high of winning that last fight, but definitely a very convincing game 1 for Classic Metal and Freak Spot.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but there is a chance for them to make a comeback here. Hopefully it doesn't become a 2-0. Maybe we'll see a game 3 one of these matches, hopefully. I mean, this could be the one. Let's find out. It looks like they're going to get ready. We are into our army selection for game number 2.
All right, I'm curious to see whether they're going to switch things up. We see those squirrels down for Classic Metal immediately. You know, squirrels are kind of the base for every army now. Every player, in fact, has squirrels. Chameleon's coming out from Sniperman, though, or Skunks, which will do very well against those squirrels should they get out in time. And Freak Spot taking some barbed wire and balloons this time. 3 out of the 4 players taking balloons. They're very strong right now. As long as you have an army to defend that balloon, as you've seen in previous games, the balloon gets taken out very quickly if there isn't anything to defend it.
Alright, looks like everyone wants to take their balloons out. We do see the moles coming out for a sanitarium. So something a little meaty, something chunky there to defend. He has like 2 melee units going for his deck. So as long as his opponents don't have falcons, which they don't at the moment, it should be all good for them. Alright, here we go. Got the wolf coming out for Freak Spot. Classic Metal going with the double wolf. There we are. Here we are. It's going to be game number 2. It's going to be the Squirrel Squad versus Public Metal.
All right, we've got Sniperman and Insanitarium, or Sniperman and, yes, in the east of the map is blue and red. Classic Metal and Freak Spot in the west as green and yellow. We'll see a little bit fairer of a map this time.
It's a much flatter map, too.
Yeah, we did say that the map was very heavily favoring Sniperman and Sanitarium last map, but it didn't end up helping them. Classic Metal and Freak Spot definitely adapted to take them down. And now, I'm curious to see what'll happen on even footing now, or whether they'll win even faster, or whether Sniperman and Sanitarium will be able to crawl their way back into this best of 3.
Yep, looks like once again both sides just building up their farms, trying to decide what to do. I mean, like, when you see last game, how do you sort of adjust to this game facing Metal and Public?
I think definitely getting out some crowd control, some area of effect is going to be very important. You know that Classic Metal is very good with squirrels. You know that they both took squirrels last game, Classic Metal and Freak Spot. Freak Spot has taken lizards first this time. But I think the key here is going to be Sniperman and Insanitarium getting that crowd control out sooner rather than later to cut down on any massive tier 1 that comes across the field, especially with this road connecting the 2 bases.
Alright, at the moment, we just have our initial warns coming out from both sides. Squirrels for Sanitarium, Squirrel Toads for Sniper Man. I think after the last game, they realized like we really need some sort of like AoE thing to kill off all those squirrels, and Toads may be their answer. In the meantime, the other side are also building Toads as well.
We'll see some Toad versus Toad action here as Toads take out their fellow brethren.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Toad versus Toads; they're all gonna die anyways.
Brutal best.
I mean, that's what they do, you know.
It's a very grim existence for a Toad. Looks like Insanitarium is ahead in terms of army value. Those moles are helping to boost his numbers. Classic Metal, though, is ahead in terms of warrants, and all 4 players are up to 8 farms at the moment.
All right, the moles are out for CJ Ross in Sanitarium there. He has one more mole building. Looks like he has another mole building. He is just building up a mole army for himself. In the meantime, Freak Spot will be taking a expansion for himself down there in the middle. Very far for expansion. He's going to probably leave the other one for Classic Metal to build more units behind him. It looks like he already is on his way to 15 squirrels and some more ferrets now to join the army. And Freak Spot goes off to build a very forward aggressive balloon.
Yeah, Classic has bought that expansion up in the north. That's pretty well placed as long as there's an army on that high ground to defend. Freak Spot has gotten that balloon up now. And Classic Metal is very well positioned at the top and putting his own sniper balloon down there. So very safe expanding. There's a little bit of a back door to the north of that sniper balloon, but Classic Metal has a perfect position for all these squirrels.
Yeah, both sides just towing the line here right across the bases of Insanitarium Sniper Man. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see who's going to take the first bullet. I mean, we have balloons now coming out from all sides. Classic Metal has his own balloon going up right now. The only one without balloons is going to be Sniper Man. He's just going to go build more warrens.
Which is kind of funny given his username. Sniper Man doesn't have a balloon.
Not even going for a fox. What's going on here?
Freak Spot has both of his chameleons out now. It'll be interesting to see how those will affect this fight. They will tank a lot of damage. I don't know if they'll be able to tank 15 Toads, though, because that's how many Toads Sniper Man has. And that's the most Toads I've ever seen in a tournament.
Yep, so many Toads, it's causing them to move at like 1 frame per second now for some reason. In any case, sorry about that, guys. Again, this is a pre-alpha, so expect some weird things to be shown and seen. But I mean, right now, neither side opting for a very aggressive attack. We do have a poking of ferrets from Classic Metal right now, forcing Superman to move his units slightly to the right and over. Oh, actually, they're in a really nice place. Is he actually going to go for it? He actually is going to go for it. He wants to take out those ferrets at this moment. Those ferrets are gone from Classic Metal. And now he's going to pull back before all of his Toads are dead. He needs to save those Toads for when the final attack comes. Here they come. He's going to go back in once more. There goes the Toad damage off, eliminating most of Classic Metal's squirrels. And this opens up Insanitarium to come in from the bottom to help wipe out Public's army. And it's just a massacre coming out from Insanitarium and Sniper Man. They are just pushing them back. And it does look like Freak Spot does have some reinforcements on their way, but the numbers are just favoring the red and blue side right now. And they're going to go for this northern expansion here. Freak Spot trying to get the reinforcements up here in time, but the Toads aren't even able to get close enough to explode.
Yeah, definitely. Insanitarium had the most units during that fight and stayed pretty heavily on top throughout most of it. Sniper Man's enormous amount of Toads. You can see the scorch marks there from all those Toad explosions. I'm just gonna build them back up to 15 Toads.
Yep. I think like out of the 4 people, it was Insanitarium who just comes out best. He keeps his army back. And because, you know, Cyberman's army is consistent mostly of Toads, he can just do whatever he wants with them. But he does need to think about getting more farms. He's only at 1 expansion. He only has 3 farms. So he might have to think about selling something in order to get an expansion up and going for himself. There it is. So this could be the time for Classic Metal and Public to attack here.
I'm dropping a lot of frames here. Sorry.
Yeah, same here. Do not worry.
There we go. That's a little better. Back to 15 frames per second. 15 frames. Here we go. All those toads back up. Sniperman has sold one of those warrens. That's still an absolute ton of toads. Another sniper bloom going up for him as well. Try and protect Sniperman's base a little bit. But there is a wolf out on the field for Freak Spot, and that could make all the difference in the next fight. Could have super buff toads exploding with 17 attack, which is enough to take out a squirrel in one hit, I believe. Somebody can check my math.
I'm a little bit concerned. The sound is gone from this game.
Yeah, I have a little bit of an audio bug as well. We'll see.
Alpha,
everyone.
Yeah.
Work in progress. Here we go, though.
Oh boy, this is not looking good. Well, in the meantime, we do have Sniperman. He has his army back up and going for himself, but now he's going to be attacking from the north. It's going to be Classic Man Public. They have their wolf at the ready here, and they're going to wipe out everything that Sniperman has in his army. He has nothing to defend his base.
Yeah, all players about even in terms of army, although Classic Metal and Freak Spot have a little bit more because of that wolf there. They do manage to take down that farming expansion, which means that Sniperman has no farms right now. He's on 0 farms after 60 seconds. He's going to starve, and that's really important at 7 minutes and 50 seconds into the game.
Well, I can't. There's like no sound whatsoever, which is a very amazing bug I've never seen before, honestly.
All right, well, Sniperman is now out of this tournament, unfortunately.
Yep,
they were so close. Insanitarium has 8 farms still, but he's losing warrens rapidly to Freak Spot's wolf and units that are coming across the field. His main is about to be down. Loses warren after warren. The unit's still coming across the field. There goes his expansion. And that's it. Classic Metal and Freak Spot are going to take Game 2 to move on to the Grand Finals.
All right. So I will say a very nice initial attempt there from Sniperman and Sanitarium to fend them off. And then after that, they just got attacked from behind. Sniperman couldn't get his farm up in time and couldn't build his army back to what it was before. And
yeah, that wolf definitely makes a huge difference in matches like those. When your army values are about equal, or at least close to each other, the wolf buff definitely can be a multiplier of your army. It literally multiplies the damage of all of your units and makes it seem like there's a larger force there. Lets you chew through your enemy as long as you time it correctly.
Well, we are going to be right back very soon. I do actually need to restart the game, but thank goodness we are going to have a very short break here, and we will be back for the bronze matches. It's going to be the usual crew versus the Squirtle Squad. We will be right back. All right, we are back here. We have 2 more sets of matches left. And first one we're going to look at is going to be the one for 3rd place. The bronze match. It's going to be the usual crew versus the Squirtle Squad. With your commentators, Captain Fog and MJ. Take it away, guys.
Alright, back at casting game. Conte and Lima, Sniperman and Sanitarium. Both teams had some pretty good games so far. It's interesting to see now they're fighting each other. Okay. Sniperman and Sanitarium going for Belfield and Hopper. Conte and Lima going for Archimedes, Watermaster.
Sniperman and Sanitarium almost took that last game. I just realized I was muted, so I'm back now. We'll see if they're all warmed up now. We'll see if that was a pretty short session. See whether that kind of helps them get on top of their game, or whether the fatigue will set in of playing that many matches in a row.
I guess we will see. Lacante again. Lacante and Sanitarium. Pretty experienced player. Sniperman, pretty new. Lima, I do not know much about Lima, but we'll see.
Yeah, just waiting on Lima and Lacante to ready up here.
Okay. Let's let him know.
There we go. Into the army selection for Clash of Comrades Faction Frenzy 2 bronze match. This will decide who is in 3rd place for this tournament before we go into the grand finals. And Lima immediately grabbing his 6 units. He knows what he wants to use.
Straight up points. Let's see if his build's gonna get him that sweet imaginary bronze medal. Ooh, plenty of artillery cannons, so maybe map control will be the name of the game this time.
And mines, too, from Lacante, so, Lacante, things that we haven't seen here. Well, I want to see artillery versus artillery to have a Death Valley. Here we go.
We did see it in previous game in Deadbones versus and Dernano versus Lacante. There was a short bit where both teams had artillery cannon and units attacking. It was quite intense. Okay.
Here we go into this first game of this best of 3 set. Got in Sanitarium and Sniperman and red and blue in the west, and Lacante and Lima as green and yellow in the east.
It does seem like Lacante and Lima are in not excellent spots. They only really have 2 ways out their initial spawns.
Yeah, definitely. Lacante does have a very safe expansion to the west. There's actually only one way to get to that. It is blocked a little bit by that mill there, but you can see on the minimap there is a way to get up there. It's very easily shuttable, downable, if you to use the technical term. If you put any kind of defensive structure there. Lacante does only have mines. It is a great spot for mines, a nice choke point. But we'll see. And Sanitarium and Sniperman are also going to have to push out a little bit farther. So a lot of the defending is going to take place on this mountain ridge in the middle of the map here. It'll be interesting to see which player pushes out first.
In Sanitarium and Sniperman do not have expansions that are really close to their base, so they will have to move out. I'm curious to see how effective the toads will be. And yeah, okay, Lacante and Lima going for pure squirrel, Sniperman and Sanitarium, squirrel, and some toad thrown in for good measure.
As long as Sniperman and Sanitarium go in at the same time, those toads could make the difference. Sniperman going up to 6 toads to be out on the field. And they're going to do a lot of damage against these squirrels, especially now that they only have 5 health. So each toad's going to do about 2 damage, or 3 damage, my apologies, in the area of effect. Of course, that toad is going to definitely take out 1 squirrel if it explodes in the same tile. It's just a matter of how much else it can take out at the same time.
Right,
Sniper Balloon going down for Sniperman, though. Finally, living up to his name.
Oh yes, sniper for sniper. Okay, at this point we also see some tier 2 units about to get in the field. Ferrets for Sanitarium and Falcons and Skunks for Lacante and Lima. Skunks could do pretty well against the Skulls and Toads. And the Falcons will provide some pretty decent cover for the Skunks.
Yeah, interesting mine placement from Lacante here. He's placed them just outside of Lima's expansion, which is kind of weird. They've kind of hopped over there, but Lacante's taken the base right in front of him. More mines that are going down, kind of blocking that out. So I can't wait to see whether in Sanitarium and Cypherland decide to go for that, and what happens if they do, because those mines are going to do a lot of damage to a mainly tier 1 army.
That will do a lot of damage, so the question is whether or not they will walk into them. They probably will have to, they're going to attack the expansion. Another interesting move is Lima taking an expansion on the ridge in the middle.
I think Lacante and Lima are definitely taking this high ground advantage here if they can hold Lima's base up there. They are positioned very well on the high ground, and they have that sniper loom giving them even more range. So Sanitarium and Cybermen are going to be very hard pressed to push up that hill. It'll be interesting to see whether they choose to go around the north or through the south, through the minefield that Lacante has built.
Needs the north may be a slightly better option, although it is left to see whether or not they will actually take that path. We also see a wolf warren building up for Lima.
Whoa.
So
A
that's
little early.
gonna-
He's at 16 farms, though. They've kind of been expanding unchallenged here. Snipermen and Sanitarium only at 12 and 8, so they're at 20 farms, whereas the Conte and Lima are already at 29, so 9 more farms for them. Definitely with an economic advantage.
That is true. The County and Lima took control of a lot of the expansions really quickly, and that helped them economy-wise. And Lima is just building tier 1 horns, whereas Lacante is just building lots of falcon horns. It's
Which
putting
are-
a lot of faith into those falcons.
Well, it looks like Squirrels from Sanitarium have taken down that expansion in the south from Lima. They've made it through that field of
Ooh.
mines there. Ooh, a little bit of lag there. Looks like I'm back. Losing a lot in the
Yeah.
process, but the Falcons from Lacante coming across the field now. That artillery has gone up for in Sanitarium, a great spot to kind of challenge that. Unfortunately, Lacante and Lima already have control of that high ground. Again, as long as they can defend that base from Lima. And so we'll have the farm advantage. They can just kind of sit here and keep building up farms.
That is true. We'll see the two teams having their armies together, close to each other, waiting for something to trigger a fight. And Sanitarium has an artillery cannon up there and a sniper balloon, so if the massive...
And here we go, huge buff coming down from the Green Wolf. The army of green and yellow siding through the army of blue and red. Look at how many Hawks are still alive. A lot of army went down on the side of blue and red. Looks like green and yellow definitely came ahead in terms of that, taking down the expansion from Sniperman, which means that Sniperman is only on 3 farms now. And Sanitarium's on 10. Conte and Lima, though, only have 10 between them, so Sniperman and Sanitarium are still ahead in terms of economy, surprisingly. But that Wolf from Lima...
Team in
Definitely.
Sanitarium and Sniperman have slight economic advantage right now. Although, let's see. Yeah, both teams building up their armies again. There is the Wolf, there's the Wolf from Lima. In Sanitarium and Sniperman have no tier 3.
Oh
So,
no! And the 2 ferrets coming down from Insanitarium get taken out by mines. So excellent mine placement from Lacante there. And at the same time, attacking from the north with those, with the Hawks there, they're taking out a lot of Warrens all at once, losing a few to the army of Insanitarium, trying to reinforce now, but a lot of damage to Lima's army from that artillery on the hill there. So both players about even, all players about even in terms of teams. Maybe Lima and Lacante slightly ahead. Sniper Man's on no farms, though. Needs to build something within the next 60 seconds, or he's going to starve out and be out of this game. Sanitarium moving up in the north, trying to take out LeConte's expansion, which it looks like he's going to be able to do. That's 120 food that they're taking down. It is as much advantage as they can get. And Sniper Man's going to have to build something quickly. He needs to sell some more, and he's only got 20 food, and that timer is counting down. Let's just see what he's going to sell, but that buff is down again. The units are firing, and it looks like blue and red again getting scythed in half by all these Falcons from LeConte. And the gas from Lima doesn't help either. And there we go, in Sanitarium, giving up and going down, and LeConte taking game one.
Okay, this was a rather interesting game. LeConte and Lima, honestly, given I maybe misjudged how bad or how good their spawn was, because I honestly didn't think they would win.
I think definitely what made the difference was them noticing the kind of disadvantage they were at, taking the expansions where they did, and taking control of that high ground. Definitely having that high ground in place helped them win that match, I think. They had the economic advantage through some of the game. They got the first shots, especially once the Wolf came out for Lima. And Sniper Man and Sanitarium had that artillery, but it didn't really do a whole lot. It took out a couple of units from Lima's army, but that's about it.
Yes, the artillery was good in case the County Lima decided to attack their bases, but that did not happen. So the artillery just kind of sat there doing nothing. It's about 240 food just sitting there doing nothing.
All right, Lima going for artillery this time, but it looks like Lima's going to be the only player taking artillery. Sniper Man and Sanitarium both going for chameleons. Sniper Man getting that wolf, seeing how powerful it was from Lima and Conte. Lima's getting the wolf again this time. But here we go into the second game of this bronze match of Faction Frenzy 2. Remember, if LeConte and Lima win this match, they will be the third place finishers for Faction Frenzy 2. And in Sanitarium and Sniper Man, unfortunately, will be out. Or Siege Ross will be out of this tournament.
So, taking a look at a map here, we see Sanitarium and Sniper Man to the north. Sanitarium has a bit of high ground advantage you could use for defending. LeConte and Lima have the high ground, although they do have some roads there, which could be useful because they lead to some expansions. So, if they build their units around there, you could gather them really quickly.
The base just to the northwest of Lima's main is taunting for LeConte and Lima, because the only way you can get to it is by swinging all the way around to the other side and going up the one ramp that's there. So they're going to have to capture it quickly, or Sniper Man and Sanitarium can use it as a staging area to take down Lima's entire base, unless Lima can get those pigeons up in time.
That could be a lot of trouble for them if they can get it, if they can secure it, which may not be that difficult for them. Again, as you said, there's only one ramp leading up to that, and it's close. It's more accessible to Sanitarium and Sniper Man.
Sniper Man going for those lizards, and Sanitarium going for squirrels. LeConte going for lizards, and with less food. Looks like he got lizards out a little bit earlier, or he's saving up. There we go. So he's put those down, so he's getting lizards out. Lima going for skunks very early, putting down 2 warrens and then going for those skunk warrens. Notice the warren placement from LeConte and Lima. They put their warrens in a line as a shield in front of Lima's base. What do you think about that move, MJ?
Okay, so those warrens could be pretty helpful for tanking an attack from Sanitarium and Sniper Man, because, well, if the enemy units focus on those, then that gives LeConte and Lima's army and the pigs more time to take down the attacking army, which is really good. And looks like they're building even more warrens in that area.
LeConte able to take down Sniper Man's lizards and taking down that expansion from Sniper Man at the same time. So excellent move there from LeConte's lizards. Definitely, we've seen him do this before. He's kind of the meat shield in this matchup. Gets a lot of lizards out. Here he goes into the north again, taking out the couple lizards that are sitting there, and Sniperman and Sanitarium's army's out of position, losing both of those warrens, and then smartly backing up LeConte. See if he decides to go around to the other side, or whether he's just going to keep harassing like this. He needs to stay the meat shield here. That Sniper Balloon is going up for Lima. In the meantime, Sniperman has tried to get another expansion up, but LeConte is going to try and deny it again. He's taking it down, and there he goes. Let's see how many he loses on retreat here. Only a few. Maybe not an even trade, but definitely a mental blow. Especially sneaking around the outside. Let's see. They might get... These lizards might get caught in a corner here, but we'll see if Lima takes advantage of this. In Sanitarium, getting up onto that high ground, which we said was going to be so important, and Lima's army is off in the corner. He needs to rally his units to him right now. Otherwise, in Sanitarium's army, he's going to take out all of the work that he's done into these bases so far. 2 warrens down so far. Squirrels are out of range now, with those ferrets coming in and attacking farms. Skunk gas coming down from Lima in the north. Holding his own so far. I'm not sure what Sniperman is waiting. He's definitely waiting for the reinforcements from the Sanitarium. There we go. But there's a lot of gas down on the field, and those. Look at all the damage that they took. The lizards running through the gas very quickly, able to take out the retreating army from Lima. So a disastrous attempt to run away, and LeConte just doesn't quite have enough to help defend. He is going to clean out the rest of these blue lizards. And Sanitarium hesitating a little bit. He's going to push in through this choke point right now, take out a couple of tier 2 warrens. LeConte is going to smartly sell one right in time. But Lima's skunk is just going to put down so much gas, and they're going to be able to beat off this attack from the Sanitarium.
Oh, right. Well, I have some frame rate issues on my end, and at this point, the stream is ahead of my game, so...
Ah, gotcha. I'm still running clear at 60. Here we go, and Sanitarium's going to start poking again a little bit. Let's see, LeConte's going to respond by bringing his lizards in. They get taken down very quickly. There's a little bit of skunk gas down, especially in that choke point. It's going to do a lot of damage. A lot of Insanitarium's troops still alive, though. LeConte and Lima both have more farms than their respective opponents, so they're very much ahead in terms of economy. Sanitarium up to 21 squirrels. He's got a huge army, the bulk of the army, despite having fewer farms. And Sanitarium, or Sniperman, focused on going for that economy. Whereas in Sanitarium is focusing on going for those units, which will work out pretty well. Lima has put down an artillery cannon in the north there, so any attack from there is now going to be thwarted, and LeConte is going to take advantage of that by running his lizards up. He's only got 8. But he's going to take down a few warrens. But in the meantime, in Sanitarium and Sniperman, or in Sanitarium is going to charge up the front. Sniperman's going to try and counter the lizards from the north. I don't think he knows about the artillery up there. But in Sanitarium's going to lose a lot of his army. Doesn't get that mill down. That would have swung the game if Lima's only farming base, despite his main, which is about to farm out, went down. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get there in time. And it's going to take in Sanitarium a long time to build those units back up again, because he's only got 4 farms. And in the meantime, LeConte and Lima have been building up their food their farms this entire time. Which means that Sniperman is going to lose this base, trying to counter with lizards running in from the side, but there's so many skunks there now, and so many squirrels. 18 squirrels out on the field for Lima right now. 7 and 8 farms for Lima and LeConte, 6 and 4 for Sniperman and Sanitarium. And unfortunately, it looks like this game is starting to swing back in the favor of LeConte and Lima. We'll see those. Sniperman is getting out some chameleons. We'll see if that's able to make a difference. The longer this game goes, though, the more ahead LeConte and Lima are going to get. Lima is very far ahead of everybody else in terms of army value. Sanitarium's going to try and build up his farms a little bit. He's got 8 squirrels out of 21 warrens. Or 21 that he could build. He just doesn't have the food to quite produce it. Unfortunately, 2 chameleons out for Sniperman now. 3rd one out, and the 4th will be building shortly. But LeConte and Lima just building and building and building, and Lima has that wolf out right now. So any engagement from LeConte and Lima is going to be game deciding. Those chameleons getting caught on the open, one getting pulled down. Oh, the other one just barely surviving with 7 health, and it looks like LeConte and Lima are going to go ahead and push in through here. Massive wolf buff going down. Pulling back a little bit as the wolf buff goes away, but Sanitarium and Sniperman just don't have a response to this at the moment, and I don't know that LeConte and Lima quite realize how far ahead they are in this matchup. Only 12 scores out for Sanitarium. There they go. They're going to push it now. Wolf buff goes down, and down goes the base of Sniperman. So Sniperman is out of this game. He was the main source of economy, and there goes Insanitarium's last farming base. He's also on 0 farms, and now it's going to take a miracle for Insanitarium to get back into this. 0 farms, 3 squirrels out on the field. His warrens are getting scythed in half as we speak. The wolf buff goes down again, and LeConte and Lima are your bronze place winners of Clash of Comrades Faction Frenzy 2. GG, and congratulations to LeConte and Lima. Let's go ahead and bring it back to the desk for analysts to take a look at that game before we take another break.
Wrong panel. There we go.
Gotcha.
Clicking the wrong thing, and there we go. That's going to be the bronze match for us. The usual crew will be taking 3rd place in this tournament. And right now, we're going to have the grand finals up very soon. This is Clash of Comrades. We'll be right back with the break. Stay tuned, guys. This is going to be the big one. Alright, welcome back. This is it, the final match of Faction Frenzy 2. It's going to be the grand finals, the Double D's versus Public Metal. And here we are, guys, the final one.
I'm so excited for this. Unbelievably hyped for this matchup. Dead Bones, the Double D's, coming against Public Metal. Public Metal has 2-0'd everybody in their way. They've beaten more people in this tournament than the Double D's so far, but both teams have taken 2-0s, as have all of the winners of this tournament so far. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen in this matchup.
Yep. And on the mic for this one, it's going to be me, Best Team Maker, and LeConte here. Going to have be your casting duo.
Glad I could make it to the finals.
There you
also
are.
sad I didn't make it to the finals. But
No,
hey.
you're not. You're not there. You're here now.
Excellent play. Good job. I'm also curious to see how these players' strategies are going to change, as this is a best of 5 as opposed to all the other matches which have been best of 3. So players are going to have a little bit more time to experiment with things.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I expect one team to go for heavy toads one game, and then maybe not the other, and then another team will be going lizards, and there'll be some kind of dynamic like that, maybe. Unless it's going to be a close down key map positions and see which team gets up balloons first kind of game. I hope that's not the case, but we'll have to wait and see.
Alright, looks like we're going to be underway. This is going to be the grand finals match, and very, very soon we will be going into the army selection. Very soon. Soon.
Very, very soon.
There we go.
There we go.
Alright.
It looked like Deadbones and Denando had really figured out the strategy they wanted to go for. They went with different tier 3s. They had their tier 3 at very similar timings. So I think they've definitely come prepared for this tournament. But at the same time, Classic Metal and Freak Spot, their early game timing and like coordinated attacks were really, really nice to see in previous games.
I think the sound is out again for me. The game's sound died.
That is unfortunate.
Do you want to restart real fast?
I am going to do that really, really fast. Tell them to not choose the final unit just yet. I'll be right back into this room, guys. Holy crap.
Too late. Rip. It's fine.
Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm on my way back in. Oh boy.
All right, they're going to restart. Yep.
Okay, sound is back. There we go. It was like, why is the sound dead? Okay. I was very scared for a second. I was like listening really hard. It's like, wait a minute. The sound died again. I don't know why. Here we are.
Alpha, everybody.
Back into the lobby. There we go. Let's start this match and get it going. Let's do it.
Okay.
One more.
Let's get this game on the road.
As soon as he hits enter, the sound dies again. Please don't do that again. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready for grand finals. Yeah. Okay.
Actual hype. Let's go.
Alright, one quick thing, very fast. When you adjust your volume, I think you're a little bit low on my end. So let me raise you up. You raise me up. Da, 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 da. And in case, here we are at game number 1. It's going to be the Double D's versus Public Meadow. Who will take the gold and who will end up with the measly silver?
Let's find out very soon. 3 out of these 4 players opted up taking the Wolf, which in 2v2 is a really good unit, although only one person should really build it, in my opinion, but we'll see how it works out. Perhaps they feel they need the flexibility to see if one player is too far behind, then the other can get it out regardless.
I mean, the wolf buffs do stack, so it is something to take into account.
Yeah, I suppose so. Could be something that could be a strategy. Deadbones went for the Uncle Butters, the boar, which we haven't seen. I think I built it in one game myself, but other than that, we haven't really seen it so far.
I mean, we saw it, but it was like a very jerky fight just due to FPS drops. But we did see it.
Well, I can tell you from my perspective, it was glorious.
In any case,
looks like all players going for 7 farms, then going to add on to their Warren.
yeah. I mean, it seems like just we're going 8 farms in general. Well, 7 or 8 farm is usually a safe way, but we have seen teams going for the 6 farm route, usually just because you have your partner there to help back you up. It's not as a risky choice in doubles. And look how forward Deadbones put that first base of his though.
Yeah, he did that in the semifinals as well, where he put his Warrens very far forward, just so he can more easily control key spots on the map.
Yeah,
which in this case is probably the high ground in the middle.
He's definitely taking advantage of bases. Yeah, he's definitely taking advantage of the land given to him by his partner there. So he was sharing a lot of that real estate there. In the meantime, both sides just building up squirrels.
On the right side for team, what are they called again?
Public Metal.
Public Metal, there we go.
There you
they
go.
do have lots of options for bases, even if they don't take the middle ones, so they're not completely locked out of the map.
Alright, we do see them just both sides just building up their armies right now. Fernando and Public will have pigeons for their teams. Meanwhile, Deadbones just building up some squirrels. Classic Metal building up to 5 warrens worth of squirrels already, almost.
And Deadbones is doing the same. Basically, they're mirroring each other's armies. One person adds in a single pigeon warren, and it's squirrels from there on out.
Now, what do you think is going to be the main point in contention here? Like, which part of the map should both sides be wary about?
Honestly, with this kind of map, I don't think there is one particular spot, although...
Oh, well, here we go. We have an engagement here between the two armies. Classic Metal brings his squirrels in, and nearly all of them get destroyed. However, they do destroy the commander of Deadbones, Quartermaster, so they may actually go in to get rid of his squirrels. Oh no, not quite yet.
Timing was a little bit mismanaged there for Public Metal, where Classic Metal squirrels went in before Freakspot was able to follow up, and both of Deadbones and Fernando's armies were right there. So it was a bit unfortunate. But then, when Deadbones' commander died, they couldn't take advantage of that, so a lucky break.
Alright, in the meantime, Deadbone's going to be building up his expansion up on the hill where the battle just took place.
And Fernando is giving in cover with Sniper Balloon in the back, and there's another one going up.
Yeah, a bit of memorial to the battle they just had. Here we go. Once again, they're going to go fight over this mill. Look, the mill's going to be taken down really fast there, though. And now the focus can be switched back onto the armies right now. But Classic Metal, once again, is losing too many squirrels at the moment. And now Public is following suit.
This is a really intense 2v2 situation, actually. Fernando's squirrels were slightly out of position, and his commander wasn't there. So his squirrels weren't part of the initial fight. And it was just his balloons that were doing some damage. The Deadbones did lose his base.
Alright.
It looks like this one. Oh, it also got destroyed.
So I'm trying to build something on the high ground here where Classic Metal and Freakspot do not want to let it go. And at the moment, here they are just trying to pile on as much units as they can onto the field. But the Chameleon is out for Fernando. He is going to be batting away the squirrels from that hillside. And it looks like they both have to retreat from the battle. Red and blue back on the other side of the hill.
Yeah, Team Public Metal really wanted to get rid of the balloon, but unfortunately they ended up sacrificing too many units for it.
Once again, here we have another engagement down the middle. Chameleon is going to be out, but the rest of the units are still there for Deadbones, the squirrels, and being surrounded by the ferrets. It's going to be very nice coverage for them protecting the ferret. But they haven't really committed to that mill again, so I'm not sure if they're going to think about going back to it.
The problem is it's just about 5 minutes now, and neither player has farms up and running. So this is going to turn into a low economy game really soon, unless they can stabilize and the aggression dies down.
And there they go, the 4 farms immediately dead on both sides. Everyone drops to 4 farms immediately. And there they go.
And Public Metal has the edge on the economy front right now, but it's going to be hard to make the correct aggressive moves because those balloons are already up.
They have to do something about the numbers that Deadbones puts out right now. He currently has the most number of squirrels on the field very soon, so they need something to tear that army apart.
Yeah, looking at what they have, it would probably be just a wolf to just out DPS the squirrel numbers, but it's going to be tricky. They don't have innate AoE units like skunks or toads. Also, Classic Metal has picked pigeons, and hasn't built any because Freakspot has already built pigeons, so maybe there was a bit of miscommunication between the two of them.
Alright,
Fernando, his army is pretty weak, and he's aggressively expanding his economy right now, trying to catch up.
And yet they are a little falling behind in farm right now. Just take a quick look at the army value graphs. We do see that Classic Metal still really far behind though. He only has squirrels to his name right now, as everyone else is starting to beef up their other units.
Yeah, the players are desperately trying to build up a good economy again, as there's no real fights have happened.
Ooh, Classic Metal maybe
then.
going for a nice turnaround maneuver here. He's
Yeah, if he can
backdooring
snipe
with the
some warrants,
squirrels.
yeah. At the same time, there's ferret harass going on, so he has to be careful.
Alright, it looks like Deadbones is
Gets
already
one
be a little
warren.
preoccupied. Deadbones is making his way
Get
forward
two
right now.
warrants, yeah.
2 Warrens are down. Can you take it even more? No. Well, 3, 4 Warrens are now down. So that's going to be a nice bit of a win for
And
Classic
meanwhile,
Metal. And they
this
even
was beautiful.
oh, they take
That
down
was
that Warren
beautiful.
up there. Good job to Public taking it out with a large number of chameleons. But now they have to be careful.
Now they have to stabilize. And
The
it
army-
might just be too hard.
Yep, Deadbones and Hernando are angry about this situation. They're losing a lot of their stuff, so they're going to go for one more push. And they're slowly whittling away at the Warrens of Public and Classic Metal. Classic Metal doesn't have enough squirrels, neither does Public. He only has 2 squirrels, 1 pigeon. Classic Metal only 2 squirrels. And now Hernando and Deadbones, they're going to go straight for the bases. They take out one of Public's. And he is on 0 farms at the moment. They might be taken out altogether. Ooh, maybe not quite yet. He is going to back
Deadbones
off
has
right now.
Very little warrens left, but Freakspot is out of bases and has no food, so
Deadbone's also on a starvation timer. He just got a farm up in time, so he won't be starving, but Public is definitely in trouble right now. He needs to start to build something as fast as possible. He does
yeah,
have
they'll
some
to
units
sell
on the
another
board.
Warren. And still, Denando has the single sniper balloon to protect their assets. I thought this game might have been over with that counterattack by Team Double D, but they're hanging in there. So we'll see if they can make something happen here.
Oh, Public, he's just racing down there to get his farm up in time before the starvation counter goes, and there it is.
He has money for 2, that's good. Bright side for him, Classic Metal does have 12 squirrels up and a fully farming base, so he's the backbone of the team right now, as Denando is for the other side.
Alright, so that's going to be up to both sides to try to recover, see what they have left.
Classic
meantime-
Metal's going for a sneaky attack around the top.
Whoops. Change commander. There we go. He sees Hernando's
out
base
3
up on
farms.
top.
And he might be even be able to get the mill here. This is
And there it
huge.
is. Hernando is now in starvation.
mode.
Oh boy.
But he does have a huge army with 4 chameleons and 15 squirrels.
Yeah, time to sell some
Plenty of food
squirrels,
to
mate.
rebuild.
Well, he has some
200
food.
food.
Yeah, he has food stocked up, so he's not too worried about it, but he does need to build a farm very soon.
This buys Freakspot time to rebuild, which he desperately needs.
But in the
And
meantime,
Deadbones is on 2 squirrels right now. He has nothing.
oh, we have to be really careful though. Hernando's going to be coming in with his army backed by one single squirrel from Deadbones, it looks like. So it's going to be all Hernando, it seems. He has his chameleons out, which are a huge major force, but they're being surrounded by squirrels from Classic Metal, and they're all taken
Beautiful
out.
play by Classic Metal, but there is still that balloon, so he has to be careful about how he approaches this.
Yep. The squirrel's slowly coming back for Deadbones. He still only has 1 squirrel to his name. 2 now. There we go. Some reinforcement. It's still
Deadbones
Hernando.
definitely relying on his teammate here to keep him in the game.
Oh, he's going to come
Classic
back
Metal's
around.
trying to find the angle to not be exposed to the balloon.
There it is. He's going to go back up to that mill once more, seeing he put Hernando in starvation mode. There it is once
Not a
more.
good fight for them.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
Denando
lose.
easily takes that fight.
But Hernando needs to sell something. He has no food for farms. He needs to get rid of some of his units in order to put down 1 farm to prevent starving.
I want to give props to Classic Metal for making these kinds of plays. He's doing exactly the right things.
In the
Shutting
meantime,
down farms left, right, and center.
Free
This is
Spot's
beautiful.
recovered back up to 6 farms now.
Yeah, Freakspot's in a great spot. He's been on 1 pigeon and 1 squirrel warren for a while. and sold them just to get more farms while Classic Metal held down the line. Oh, and Nando has sold his Sniper Balloon. This could be huge.
And chameleons. So he only has squirrels to his name right now.
And Classic Metal has a significant squirrel advantage, even though his one base that he has left is going to be farmed out rather soon. So he has to be careful.
He should be able to get enough food at least to get his numbers up, and there he goes. He's going to be attacking Deadbone's expansion here. Deadbones only has 3 squirrels to defend, and the mill is gone, and
that's
he
the
is
game.
out. Public and Classic Metal inch out a win here in an amazing low economy game.
Amazing play by Classic Metal. He bought so much time for FreakSpot to get back into that game. That was beautiful to
Just
watch.
look at the giant drop of Dernando. Dernando's drop.
This was a good game to start the series. Well
Yep.
done.
Just Classic Metal going for these really great roundabout plays here. Killing off the Warrens, then going up north to kill off the farms from Dernando, forcing him to sell his units off in order to rebuild farms and allow FreakSpot to recover. Just excellent play coming out of Classic Metal right now.
Alright, looks like players are right back into it. Getting ready for game 2. Let's see if people change up their strategies. Deadbone's picking up the barbed wire rather rapidly, which is probably a good pick. Leave a player had a good way to deal with it.
Yep. It's gonna stop the giant balls of squirrels that Classic Metal usually likes to play. I do hope we will see some tier 2s coming out from them, but I mean that last game was so low economy, I don't think tier 2s would have made a difference anyways.
There were ferrets which added to the pressure early on, and then the chameleons kind of did work, but they died quite rapidly to 3 damage squirrels, so it's kind of tricky to make them work.
But in any case, here we go. It's going to be game number 2. The Double D's versus Public Metal. Starting very soon, I hope. Here we go. Load the map. There it is. And we are in for a very interesting map. Expansion-wise, I'm not very sure Classic Metal and Public have much to work with.
No, this is rather unfortunate for them. They will have to take the 2 bases just to the east of their starting position, but they have a hard time getting there, so they'll probably have to go for Warrens on the low ground, which is always a bit tricky.
So they're going to have to try to advance here as soon as possible and reinforce the area, or maybe forced to play a game of Turtle.
We'll see how they decide to play this out. Deadbones and Denando are probably confident in securing that position in the middle of the map, which gives them access to 2 bases in the back, 2 bases in the front, which is plenty for a longer scale game.
You know, and these 2 expansions here on the right side, they're very nicely tucked away. There's like really only 2 pathways in and out, and one of them is very narrow, while the other one has to go through their high ground base area. So it's not very easy to access.
It will be tricky for Public Metal, the team, to get aggressive on this map. They're building their warrants on the high ground, but close to the one entry and exit to their base, so that's at least good.
Yeah, they need to get those reinforcements out there as soon as possible.
Yeah. Deadbones isn't going for very aggressive warrants this time, keeping them on the high ground, rather than trying to secure map position, which, to be fair, it did kind of bite back at him when Classic Metal swooped in and took out most of his squirrel warrants.
Yeah, that was a little bad for them, but in the meantime, nothing too crazy happening quite yet. Squirrels just coming out on both sides right now. Well, actually, lizards for FreakSpot, it looks like.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like Deadbones has built any toads yet, which he does have, so
Which is
there
interesting.
is a counter for the barbed wire, and there is a counter for the lizards, and there we go, there's
There
the
it
toads.
is. He has 2 here. He immediately set down 2 warrants of toads. So he is going to fully expect the lizard and squirrels to come very soon.
It's going to be interesting to see which player can control their army the best, if the toads can do work, or if the lizards and chameleons on weak spots, which are also melee units, can dance around those explosions.
Classic Metal has gone for the Falcons right away, and Public's gone for the chameleons right away.
Falcons are interesting, but considering how many squirrels there are in these games, it can be really tricky to make them work until you get a lot of them, in my opinion. Meanwhile, Deadbones is taking an expansion where, again, Denando is backing him up with a sniper balloon. Here comes some forward warrants from Classic Metal.
Oh, he's gonna go for this. He may be thinking about taking this mill. There they go. The Lizards and Squirrel army combined with the Falcon Vision. See how much the damage they can do to the mill. But here comes the army of the Toads. Can they take out the mill? But can they survive this Toad attack? The Toads explode, and all the Lizards are gone from Public side. But his Chameleons are still alive.
There's not that many
Chameleons are
units left.
still alive. This is not actually good for them. Chameleons now revealing something and do a lot of damage to the Squirrels on Deadbones' side. They have to retreat right now before he loses any more of them.
Very nice hold from Team Public Metal. Gonna try and take out this balloon. This will be huge. They do manage to take it out, and there's not that many Toads left.
Alright, the Chameleons are taken out, but the Lizards are back in full force for Public at the moment. Meanwhile, Classics Squirrels are being reinforced, and they're coming in to support this army here. And now, Deadbones or Denali just seem to be throwing their units one by one, but it's not working out for them. Here comes some Warren damage as well. The Toads, they're not getting close enough to do explosion damage.
Oh, this is so tense. This is so close. The pigs are doing damage now, though, so it's really tricky for Team Public Metal to keep this up. But they've taken out warrants, which is really good. They might even take out farms now. Yeah, they do take out a farm as well.
Well, unfortunately,
So
Classic
all in
Metal had
all-
himself taken out, though.
Yeah, all in all, this is a win for Public Metal, though. They took
Oh
out a
my
balloon,
gosh,
they
the
took out a
Chameleons
base.
The Chameleons are still back, though. Oh, he still has the
Just gonna
Chameleons under his
pile on
control.
the aggression.
There it is. Oh, unfortunately,
Oh,
it's killed right in front of the
yeah.
pig, though. So
Looks
they're
like
gonna
Team Public Metal is looking. Yeah, they're gonna try and back
they
off
have to
now.
back out here. No more units to support this one. But look at the graph. Army value-wise, oh, Deadbones and Dernando has suffered a huge amount. Dernando has his army built back up, but Deadbones is suffering
Deadbones
quite a
is
bit.
Nothing.
He
This
lost.
is really nice play from Team Public Metal, but now it's gonna hit 5 minutes again, and we may get a repeat of the first game because neither player, except for Dernando, actually has a base already.
On the
Squad is
meantime,
building one, but
Public has one to the north, and Deadbones does get it out, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. Instead, he has to defend the bottom. Here comes Classic Metal once more, trying to
Toads
attack. The
get
Toads don't even
sniped.
get in. They don't even have the chance to explode, and now the
Freak
rest of
Spot
the army is
late
going to
the
come in.
party, but he might just be in time. The Lizards come swooping in, and they might just be able enough to clean this up.
And the Falcon now coming in as backup. Take out the remaining Squirrels here. The Toads come in. There's one explosion, but it's not
that sniper
enough.
balloon doesn't get up.
Oh,
could be
this is looking really bad. They're going to go for the Dernando's expansion here. And this mill is pretty much gone. No, quite yet. Here comes Dernando's Squirrels. They're going to be pushing away the army just in time.
The Chameleon is gonna try and snipe it.
Can you get the Chameleon over there? Come on, Chameleon, get over there. There it is. Smash it goes.
That is a satisfying smack.
All right.
Okay. So now there's Chameleons out in front, and Deadbones is on one scroll, Fernando is on two. I think this might be the game, depending on the decision being made here.
Oh, Freak Spot. He's just going to go for it. Deadbones is out, and Dernando is also out as well. What a
Holy
game.
moly!
Public Metal is stomping Double D's at this moment.
Yeah, it's gonna be a match point for them. This upcoming match. What such beautiful decision making by them to see. We can't win this map late. We have to go fast. And showing that sniper balloon just out in the open takes too long to do damage.
So
It's
I'm
not enough to rely on.
I'm seeing a trend here. Every time a side gets a lot of expansions on their side, they don't seem to win.
Maybe because they try to play too slow. That might be the reason.
That could be it. It's just funny to see that trend happening here in this tournament. And you know, right
We'll
now,
have to see if Team Double D can adapt their overall strategy. Because it's clear that what they're trying to do isn't working against Team Public Metal.
Deadbones has the boar out. He wants to bring the boar out for this one.
If he can, he will need more than 4 farms in 5 minutes to get a bore out, I think.
Yeah, he's being caught out here on the economy side.
No, I do like this choice from Deadbones to add in the machine gun nest to get the low value, well, the low cost, decent value defensive structure. Neither Classic Metal or Freak Spot have ferrets. They haven't really been a unit that's
Alright.
been too effective in this 2v2, so this machine gun nest could be the slight edge that Team Double D needs to draw out the game and play the longer timing that they want to go for.
Well, here we are, game number 3, Double D versus Public Metal. Public Metal up 2-0 right now. So this is basically match point for the red and blue side. Let's see if the Order can figure out a way to respond.
And all in all, this map is... It's not great for Team Public Metal again, either, because they have a really hard time. Yeah, they have one base that's easily accessible, and then the rest is out there.
There is a
including a high ground base.
There is a very long stretch of road in the middle, though. It's
Yeah.
going to be a very interesting pathing for the unit to decide to go this way, especially because that pathway ends up in front of Deadbone's doorstep.
Which, good for him, is on the high ground, but it might not be all that strong. He doesn't have the machine gun nest, so I think that's going to be a good choice as this game goes on. We'll have to see.
Well, Classic Mod does have the snake, so he can still tag the machine gun nest, but they won't die as
Very true.
quickly as the ferrets, damaging it.
So true. You can tag it once, and then it's mostly dead. Classic
Pretty-
Metal went for 8 farms, then warrants. All of the players went for 7, and then warrants, so... pretty standard.
Yep, just making sure they get the army count up. Deadbone's going to be going for the squirrels and lizards composition here.
And shout out to Shoefly in the chat, who's basically saying the same thing I just did, where the machine gun nest is probably what Team Double D needs to slow down the pace of the game until they can get out their tier 3 timings and get enough map control to win the game from there. But we'll see if Team Public Metal can repeat their aggressive style and shut it down before it can really come to fruition.
Alright, at the moment, just both sides trying to shore up their army. Public staying with the lizards that he has. Classic Metal building up his squirrel ball as usual. And Deadbones, he's going for a very hybrid composition now, which is very interesting coming out from him, honestly. This is something I usually see like AV Ultimate play. While Deadbones
Yeah.
usually goes for a slower single unit type of build, but what is he trying to prepare for in this case?
It's hard to say. I think he just wants a solid mix of tier 1. He has the best expansion you could possibly hope for right next to his main base, so he's very happy to take that. Whereas again, Denando is backing him up with his sniper balloon on the low ground though, so that may be too exposed. But we'll have to see if that's true. Classic Metal gets kind of risky base, even though it's tricky to scout for the opposing team, but it does deny. It does. At least if they want to go and kill that base, then they'll have to go all the way and leave their front exposed.
I would say if there's one thing that's kind of weird with Deadbones' base, it's really hard to build units onto it after this mount.
Yeah, he just has to build just to the south of the mill on the low ground. It should be fine. He can build towards Denando's base, where he has some warrants already. Yeah,
Alright.
so he's gonna place them right there.
Freak Spot's going to grab that base up to the north that's a little bit secluded away from the rest. And meanwhile, he's going to bring his Lizard Army and Chameleon. Oh, they killed Dernando off. So it gives a bit of free
denying
time to...
any scouting information. That's really nice. There is a secondary pathway all the way around the bottom of the map, but it's probably too risky to go that way
Freak
because
Spot.
there is the road in the middle. So
Oh, Freak Spot. He's just putting up barbed wire here. He's going to make this a very safe farming base. He's not going to use it for sneak attacks, just get farm and deny area to the others.
it does make it inside somehow. I don't know how he keeps doing this. But somehow Deadbones finds a way and will.
Fernando
scout
tries
whatever
this
you
time
have.
and he's like, nope, can't do it. I'm going to go around the bottom side this time.
I like what Freakspot is doing. He's denying the top bases. I don't know if Team Double D knows that these bases are here currently. They haven't scouted them yet. Looks like Deadbones is running over there right now. He's going to notice there's barbed wire, so chances are he's going to try and attack that sooner rather than later. With just some lizards leaving the rest of his army. This is beautiful.
I was going to say, like, he only has lizards to take the barbed wire, so he's going to go for it right away. There it is. Army approaching that northern expansion. The lizards, they're probably going to take this one up by themselves.
Yeah, Public Metal has to go now, though. They have to attack right away. And Classics Metal squirrels are taking a while to get to the fight.
Alright, a bunch of units on the field. Classic Man with 30 squirrels to his name. He's going to be charging them forward with all his might, and they're actually overwhelming them with just pure numbers at the moment. The balloon is now down.
This might be it.
And now they're going to be
Snake is still
swarming.
alive. Okay, Snake dies.
Okay, they're going to be swarming up towards that base very slowly but steadily. Public only has 5 lizards and 5 squirrels to his name, but Classic Metal is carrying on with 17 squirrels still. He's actually going to move downward to actually prevent some reinforcements from coming in. Even the wolf can't even get the buff off. Fernando had the wolf building for a while, but there are not enough units for it to stim. And just like that, they pull out and get away with a huge amount of damage onto Deadbones' side.
Yeah, there's a wolf out now, but as you said, there isn't really much of an army to receive the benefit from that wolf. And Deadbones' economy is crippled once more. He has 7 farms, but one of them is still building. And Classics Metal's exposed base hasn't been taken out. Here comes the next wave of squirrels. This could be huge.
Alright, the buff does go down to a number of squirrels now, so they are going to be driving Classic Metal's
And now
units
the buff
back.
times out, and Classic Metal comes in, and its wolf is dead.
Oh, there it is. Pop goes the wolf, and now they're going to close in onto Deadbones' army, who's trying to retreat back into the base here. Classic Metal now
Classic Metal just wants to kick Deadbones out of this game. Kill
Okay,
his
there we go.
mills.
1 mill is down. If he takes out this other mill, then
Joey
Deadbones is
doesn't
going to be
have
out
enough
of the
value.
game. No.
He doesn't quite have it.
He has no more squirrels. No more
Oh, but
Fernando!
there we go.
He stormed out.
Fernando, it is throws in the towel, and wow,
That's it.
that's it, indeed.
Your winners of Faction Frenzy 2 are Freak Spot and Classic Metal.
What a series. I'll be honest, I was not expecting that, but props to them for playing the 2v2 so well. That was beautiful to see.
Alright, just bring it back to the rest of the guys. What do you guys think about that match? I mean, Classic Metal and Public, they did it. And they
I'm
literally
shaking
were
right now.
they literally were the last signups for this tournament, like today. Today or yesterday, one of these 2 days.
I'm totally shaking.
And I am genuinely impressed they won. I expected Deadbones and Hernando to win. I would have never expected Freak Spot and Classic Metal to do as well as they did.
Yeah, they played a beautiful 2v2 style, where each player did a separate thing, and then they combined their forces and combined their strategies really well.
I really like
It's
what Classic
really
Metal
nice.
did. Like, his job was to just build up a very simple tier 1 army and just swarm as much as possible to just I guess not distract, but just to overwhelm the enemy, you know?
Yeah, with how popular sniper balloons are, squirrels are really good against sniper balloons if the sniper balloon isn't properly defended, and Denando often just placed his sniper balloon out in front, not on any high grounds, and it just dies in that position after shooting 2, maybe 3 times.
So I want to bring up a point that I'm seeing in the chat right now, that Freak Spot and Heavy Metal did not have mic communication throughout the entire tournament.
Which is incredibly impressive because their timing attacks were so good.
Yeah,
They must
I know.
be like I think they have a second monitor with the minimap like zoomed in like crazy because I don't know how they pulled it off otherwise.
You could have told they didn't have any voice chat absolutely at all, and honestly, I knew this before the tournament started, and that is part of the reason I didn't expect them to do as well as they did. But looks like I was wrong.
They definitely showed us was very impressive play, especially without direct communication. It was really impressive.
Alright, do you want to bring
Like,
them
yeah,
on for a
just-
bit of an interview and see what they thought?
Yeah, sure, I can set up permissions for them.
Let's see if they want to talk in for us. Anyways, yeah, again, we have our second doubles tournament now finished. Still have some FPS issues to work out with, but all in all, it looked pretty good. Yeah.
Indeed, it was a great 2v2 tournament. The scores in the brackets are pretty crazy. Team Double D was pretty much on challenge all the way up to the finals, but so was Team Public Metal. So finals were kinda anyone's guess.
Alright, I think we're trying to see if we can get the winners on here for a slight quick interview. If they want to join it. If not, we'll find out very, very shortly.
Alright, should be all set up. Oh, because
CM has no mic.
mic.
Well, Freak Spot, just speak for him. You can do it, Freak Spot. Be the voice of public
Tell
metal.
Classic Metal to write you some PMs and just read them out loud.
Yeah, yeah.
just like to point out that I completely predicted the tournament outcome, 100%. So
Wow! Congratulations.
You
November
win.
knockout,
Congrats.
I will take my fee if anyone wants to know my predictions. Thanks.
Meanwhile, I predicted everything perfectly except for the finals.
I believed.
All right, looks like FreakSpot has joined us now. Hello, FreakSpot, and
Hey, guys.
congratulations.
Thank you. I
Hello
totally
and
didn't expect
congrats.
us to win.
Well, you won in a very convincing fashion. It was a really, really nice aggressive play. It's beautiful to watch.
So,
Yeah.
what were your thoughts coming into this tournament? Do you guys have a plan of what you wanted to do?
Well, we kind of talked about our strategy a little bit. Like, the only thing we talked about was which units we're going to take, and that we're going to play aggressively. But that's pretty much it, actually. We didn't play a single time before, and yeah, we pretty much went into this tournament blind.
Hold on, if I recall correctly, you decided to participate just a few hours before the tournament started, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We were like, oh,
Alright.
we're a little bored and we have time, so why not? Let's just do it.
And you did it.
won out of
You
boredom.
beat everybody without dropping a single game.
Yeah, that's true.
Like even in game one of like the grand finals, we thought you guys were in trouble, but then it came to a really amazing point where Classic Mode just went around for these backdoor hits onto Deadbones' economy, and from there on, you guys just hung on to that first game.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea how we won that first game. I already thought we lost, but then Classic Mode pulled us out of the misery, and we kind of won. I don't know what happened. It was very surprising to me, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah, Classic Metal definitely pulled his weight in that match, just buying you so much time to get your economy built back up, and Deadbones was just sitting on 3 squirrels for the last 5 minutes of that game. So it was sort of a 1v1 at that point, and it looked like Classic Metal definitely had the upper hand against Den Under.
Yeah, Classic Mode definitely carried me through this whole tournament, in my opinion. He did so well, and I want to thank him for playing so well.
All right, do you have any final words to say to the audience? Any new fans you may have gotten from this tournament?
Yeah, all my fans, please subscribe to my Facebook, and yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you very much, FreakSpot, and that was our grand champions, one of the grand champions of Public Metal here to joining us. Thank you guys very much for coming on. This is another doubles experiment here, just seeing what we can do with the layouts and all these things. And we want to thank everybody for competing here and joining me on the mic and stuff like that. This is also my first time streaming for Clash of Comrades, and it went pretty smoothly for most of it, barring some weird audio issues. Do we have any final words before we head off?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Bestie, for spending the time to put this amazing UI together. I think a lot of people are really impressed with the production value. And thank you for taking the lead and hosting on this one. Definitely was a good decision.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. This has been Clash of Comrades. We will see you next time.